See, Armstrong bought a packed house. Not. Look at that. That's embarrassing.
And it's funny. Good evening and welcome to Highlands High School in Trona Heights, Pennsylvania for today's Class 4A Section 2. I believe it is, Doug, right? Section 2, I want to say?
Yeah.
Section 2, I should know that probably offhand. Matchup here between the Highlands Golden Rams and the visiting Armstrong Riverhawks. Joe Rhodes, Doug Flanders bringing you the action here today. Doug, another great Friday night, perfect weather for it. I know there's past football seasons that we were at this point in the season, certainly not getting these ideal of conditions. I know you just mentioned the weather forecast there, so without further ado, Doug, take it away.
Yeah, we're out here on the porch here at Highlands. 73 degrees. Right now it is calm. No rain in the forecast till around midnight, so we're going to be okay. We're going to be dry, and we're going to bring you some great high school football between two pretty good teams. We got Armstrong, 3-1, second place in the Greater Allegheny Conference. 5-2 overall. Coming off 3 consecutive wins, so they have found their stride. Took care of Knock 49-6, won at Mars 37-0, and of course last week took care of Greensburg-Salem 33-16. In contrast, we have Highlands, who started off the year with 4 consecutive wins and has now dropped their last 3 decisions. They lost to Hampton 27-7 here at home, lost to Plum 23-21, and also lost to Indiana 29-14. So this is Highlands fighting for their playoff life here. It would be a huge win if they could upset the Riverhawks, and the Riverhawks just want to keep the momentum going.
And Doug, you mentioned earlier on as well that 4 teams from this section, despite it kind of being a little top-heavy, particularly with the likes of Hampton and Armstrong, some really evident bottom feeders, if you want to call them that. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting that 4 teams are going to come out of this. You're going to see that 4 team probably be a team that not a great record, Doug.
Right. I think actually, Joe, I think they're taking 5 out of this section.
Excuse me, yes, you're correct.
So, Highlands is definitely in that mix for that 5th spot. Now they do still have to play Greensburg, but that's all they have left is Armstrong, Greensburg. I'm not sure who else they have. They might have one other one. Highlands.
Oh, Highlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cut off there. I apologize.
Yeah, it's cut off. So I don't know which team they haven't played.
Well, process of elimination here.
Looks like it would be Knock.
There you go.
Okay, so Highlands has Armstrong, Greensburg, and Knock left on the schedule. Probably going to need to win 2 of those games. So it'll be interesting to see if Highlands can get in. Armstrong's sitting pretty, and I believe if they win tonight, they have clinched, Joe.
Yes.
I think they have clinched the playoff spot.
You know, it's crazy to think in retrospect, too, the game against Hampton, a 1-point game. It came down to a missed or a 2-point conversion. We talk about how great Caden Olson is, and maybe we're going to look back and maybe his worst throw of the season. There's not too many of those, but certainly a game that I'm sure Armstrong looks back at and really wishes a different outcome could have taken place there, because that would give him the front row seat for a section championship. Going to need some help for that to happen.
I believe when I was on that broadcast, I said, wouldn't it be something to see those 2 teams play again in the playoffs? And it could happen, Joe. Hampton roll along undefeated on top of the conference. And Armstrong, they have 2 losses, one to McKeesport, which is another team they could end up seeing, and Hampton. So it's important for Armstrong to keep the foot on the gas and take care of business down here at Highlands.
And, Doug, you kind of alluded to it there, talking about the teams within the section. If you look at just Class 4A overall, there's only 3 sections included in Class 4A in this particular cycle of reclassification or realignment, I guess you could call it. And there's only 2 teams with still a perfect record, that being Bell Vernon, you mentioned that, and then, of course, Hampton. You saw a team that's 7-0. You saw how closely Armstrong was able to play them, so it's not that big of a difference. And it kind of just shows you the shape of what Class 4A is this season.
Yeah, a lot of parity this year in 4A. You have the powerhouse Thomas Jefferson, who don't forget about them, Joe, because they're always lurking. But Bell Vernon, McKeesport, TJ, Hampton and Armstrong, and of course you have Aliquippa. Don't ever forget about Aliquippa. But those are your top teams in 4A.
Amazing to think a school as small as Aliquippa is playing up to a level like that, but that's what happens when you're a perennial power, and it seems like you're able to restock year in and year out, kind of like the Armstrong Riverhawks softball team, Doug. But I do want to mention real quickly, this is the TGIF Solutions pregame show, presented by, of course, the Shellhammer Atwood Agency in West Katanning. insurance for what matters. We're going to take a quick break here before getting the kickoff and everything underway here at Highlands High School. So we're going to turn it over to our wonderful advertisers. So for Doug Slanders, my name is Joe Rhodes. We'll see you on the other side.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at the Katanning store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, hashtag Sable Meat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
And welcome back to High Top Sports Network here at Highlands High School. About to kick things off here. Before that, the captains will meet at the center of the field. But, Doug, we were talking before we went to the break and just sort of what kind of lies ahead here. It looks like Armstrong has a favorable schedule, and I think you did mention a win tonight does lock in that playoff spot, I do believe. Is that? Yeah. So, with that said, what would it take for Highlands, in your opinion, to be able to, based on what you talked to some Armstrong coaches before the game, you kind of got your own little scouting report. What would it take for Highlands to make this a competitive game?
Well, one of the big keys is big number 54, and if you can see him out there at the captain's huddle, that is Khalil Long, and he is going to try to control that inside game on the nose guard. So it's going to be very important for Armstrong to block him and give Caden time to see if he can throw. We're also going to have to look and see if Highlands elects to try to stop the pass or if they're going to have to pack the box. In my opinion, they should try to stop the pass and make Armstrong run, which Armstrong has shown they can do that, and Armstrong needs to keep that balance. But big number 54 and big number 72 for Highlands. 72, I believe, has 5 sacks on the season. He'll be in the middle of that D. So 54 and 72 are the ones you need to watch for Highlands. Their quarterback, Chandler Timmons, number 12, they said he reminds us of Big Ben. So he's like 210 pounds, tall guy out there.
Can't throw it further than 6 yards, Doug?
I don't know about that, but he's one you need to watch out for also. The running back's a sophomore, Luke Bombowski, and he's a sophomore. He's hard to bring down. He runs hard, so I can't wait to see that as well. Highlands in those attractive uniforms, Joe. We got a little brown and gold with some pink underneath. You're creating a uniform. Is that what you're going to do there, Joe?
You know what? You have the option on video games nowadays that alter uniforms. I'm going to tell you, this is a color scheme I never chose to go with. And you mentioned, too, Greensburg-Salem, another team with a similar color scheme, both in the same section. Very random there for such a random color scheme. But I'm going to point out something you said there a moment ago, too, Doug. You talked about that balance. You look at what Highlands gave up a week ago. They gave up 101 yards on the ground and a touchdown to Devin Flynn of Indiana. So clearly you can have success on the ground, and if you have any kind of success whatsoever, if you're Armstrong, that's going to just prove immense for Caden Olson here tonight, open things up for him in the air. So as much as I think Armstrong can have a night on the ground, I think those numbers we saw and what Indiana was able to do against Highlands a week ago could actually bode well for the numbers that Caden Olson's able to put up here tonight.
Yep. There we go. Let's see what Armstrong likes to do. They're going to kick deep, Joe.
And that is Stockdale, I do believe. It's going to go over the returner's head and into the end zone for a touchback. That's kind of not a common theme in high school. It's great when you have that luxury. You don't have to worry about kick returns and giving up a big play like that. So a little bit of a luxury this year for Armstrong.
Yeah, Stockdale showed that leg. I mean, he did the same thing down at Mars, booting balls into the end zone. It's good to see.
So Highlands, as Doug mentioned, will start with the football. I'm not sure if they chose to receive here or Armstrong won and deferred. I didn't catch that, but whatever the case, Armstrong will get the second half kickoff. The Golden Rams begin with the football here on their home field. Third to last weekend of regular season play. Here's Timmons. Little out route brought in by number 15. That is Tony Jones, and dragged out of bounds near the, I'll say, 31, 32-yard line. And that'll move the sticks.
Yeah,
play the game.
Lane Hepner, you know, made a play. He's got that cast on his arm, number 48, but got to keep everything in front of him. See if Highlands can stay patient.
So fresh set of downs here for the home Rams. Timmons will be in the gun. 3 receivers to his left, single the bottom of your screen, and kind of surprised they didn't look down there because Hepner was in coverage there, Doug. The pile keeps dragging, maybe for, say, 5 yards. Split the difference on the down, 2nd and 5. But, Doug, as I was saying there, you saw Hepner in the bottom of the screen, one-on-one matchup. And, you know, I think Highlands, if they are going to be successful tonight, they have to take advantage of any mistakes or any assignment mistakes that Armstrong has here. You know, clearly Armstrong maybe the more overall talented team, but when you have those opportunities, you have to seize them.
Yeah, it's very important that Armstrong tackle well. You saw a nice push there, a little RPO, and you're going to hear us, I say RPO a lot, and that's what the Rams did.
Absolutely, both teams, part of their identity offensively. Here's a handoff right side, cutting it back inside. Looked like brought down by number 88, but the carry, a good one there for number 33, Luke Bombalski. That's fun to say.
Yeah, that's their main threat. He's a sophomore running back. He's tough to bring down. He's quick. He's shifty. Connor Jacobs, 88, making that stop. Nice job. He's really gotten better and better as the years gone on.
And great to point out that young man in the backfield for Highlands. Not a small kid for a sophomore, so someone to watch here. Timmons in the gun again. He's going to go deep on this one. One-on-one coverage.
Hepner.
Oh, and Hepner, there you go. What I expected maybe Highlands to do a couple downs ago there, Doug, target. Hepner, one-on-one coverage of that cast on his hand. Nearly coming up with it was number 20, I do believe that was, Doug. That, of course, is Landon Signorella.
Yeah, that was a nice call by Highlands, because at least what that does is that shows the threat that they are willing to go deep and try to soften that Armstrong defense up. I like that call. It didn't work out, but I liked it.
That's another great point there, Doug. We saw Armstrong play Mars a couple weeks ago, and Mars, we heard they went to a spread, but really not a lot of plays downfield. And even if you don't feel confident doing it, you got to try it once in a while. Here's another carry up to about the 50-yard line. Once again, that is
Bombalski.
Yeah, Bombalski, excuse me.
Yep. Yeah, there's going to be a heavy dose of him tonight. It's important to Armstrong to try to win that line of scrimmage. Highlands has some big boys on that line.
And should mention Chandler Timmons, he only threw for 101 yards last week against Indiana and was responsible for both Highlands touchdowns.
Oh, wow. Great play there by Highlands. 3rd and 5. They get Armstrong to jump. Let's see if that's enough for the first down. Yes, it is, Joe.
It'll be a new, fresh set of downs for Highlands. And, you know, talk about little parts of this game that could prove pivotal. Penalties. Armstrong bitten by the penalty bug on certain occasions this season. Certainly don't want to give a team on their home field, it appears to be homecoming night, I do believe, any kind of extra motivation.
Yeah, you know, Armstrong needs to set the tone early, and Highlands is doing what they need to do. Possess the ball and work the clock.
Timmons with a hard count there, trying to draw the Riverhawks offside again. They were patient this time. Remains in the gun. Looks like a false start. I do believe that is the call.
That works in the arena league, Joe.
Start a couple yards on the line of scrimmage. Get that nice running start.
Not in high school.
What would that look like even in the pros? So that's going to move Highlands back 5 yards. So giving away 5 yards for the Riverhawks, but getting it right back there after the false start penalty by the Golden Rams. So Timmons and company will have a 1st and 15 with 9:40 left here in the first quarter. I want to remind you folks, there's 3 other games on High Top Sports Network tonight. If we have a break in the action here, make sure you tune into those and see what other games are appearing on High Top Sports Network.
Didn't get.
Looks like it might have been a hold there, but Nothing doing, and Timmons able to scamper down to the Armstrong 30. Another fresh set of downs. Nice job by that young man.
Nice little RPO, and this time he was able to evade the Armstrong tackler. Armstrong did not get him to the turf. And he came up that sideline. He has some good speed, Joe.
And one thing we talk about opponents that play Armstrong is it's really beneficial to control the time of possession. And here it is, the opening drive of the game, sort of methodical, not trying to rip off too much. They did have that pass downfield, but mostly just sort of ripping off chunks here and there, picking up the first downs, and really taking up a lot of time. As I mentioned, 9:24 left in this first quarter. Highlands in no hurry to.
Armstrong showing blitz, Joe. Here they come. Wow.
And what a job breaking off his route there. He had number 88 for the Riverhawks. That was Connor Jacobs with kind of his head turned the other way. And good credit to number 11. That was Greg Burford.
Slant there over the middle and broke off the play and was able to make it. Good job by Armstrong not to give up the touchdown, but it's 1st and goal, Rams.
Should mention, since it is 1st and goal, that means the Rams are in the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone. Like a good neighbor, Ryan Bowser State Farm in Ford City is there. Handoff right up the middle, bowling through traffic. Was Bombalski again. That name's fantastic, but down to about the, say, 2-3 yard line, somewhere around there. We bring up 2nd and goal for the Rams. Impressive drive here to open up.
Nothing fancy. Just keep giving it to your horse right up the gut. Armstrong going to have to stop that, probably hoping they can wear the Riverhawks down.
Timmons with another familiar formation. 3 receivers. Suzlutz, he's going to keep this one. Dive up the middle. That big body has reached for it, but stopped about a yard short of the goal line. He'll bring up 3rd and about half a yard.
Yeah, just went in behind Bombalski that time, the quarterback keeper, right to the 1. Don't be surprised if they do it again.
Timmons, larger quarterback, you could say, and certainly using his size there to get that extra yard and a half, whatever it might have been. Wouldn't be surprised you see another run play right here with the success that Highlands has had thus far, Doug.
Yep, tight formation. Let's see if he sneaks it.
Under center.
The
push coming. And a great play call there by Highlands, and they are the first team on the board here, 6-0. Golden Rams, a methodical drive that could prove pivotal. Getting that early momentum is huge in a game like this. And Highlands looking to do just that here with a touchdown and an extra point. Upcoming, there will be the UFP Parker extra point. Check out UFP Parker for all their wonderful jobs available now. Great workplace environment and advancement opportunities. UFP Parker in Parker, PA.
Yeah, I made the comparison to Big Ben. Big Ben doesn't do that, Joe.
No, he doesn't sneak. And who's had a sneak last night? Tom Brady, who's 44 years old. If he could sneak it, why can't Ben? But that's neither here nor there. The extra point is good. And Highlands able to capitalize on the opening drive of the game. Armstrong will have their first possession of this game when we get back. For Doug Flanders, Joe Rhodes. We'll see you on the other side.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Ford City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
And welcome back to Highlands High School. Highlands taking the opening drive. The length of the field, what did it say, 75 yards, right? Doug, they started at 25 after a touchdown.
Right down the field.
So a methodical, powerful run game, the center focus of that drive. And you kind of said it there off the air, and I don't mind if not mind me mention, Doug. Not a good sign for Armstrong.
Perfect start if you're Highlands. Show Armstrong what we're going to do. We're in the game now. Now, Armstrong, on the other hand, is more of a quick strike offense. So we're going to see a little contrasting styles. And there's a boot, and boy, that is
and
out of bounds. Wow.
And you know what? He had a great spot for it, so he had the best view in the house, and he says that one goes out. I'm going to say the 4-yard line. I'm not sure about that, but whatever the case, that was as close as you can get.
Yeah, if that's a yard further, that's into the end zone for a touchback. But the fact that it's not is going to give Armstrong a nice field position here.
And as you mentioned, Armstrong with that quick hitting offense, thanks to the cannon arm of Caden Olson. I believe coming into this week, he is, I want to say, fourth. Fourth in the WPIAL in passing with 1,369 yards. But keep in mind, 20 touchdown passes. Everybody in this list, far fewer than that, and just 6 interceptions for the hard-throwing junior righty for the Riverhawks.
Let's watch the line of scrimmage go. Let's see if Armstrong can keep those big boys away from Caden.
That might be the kind of matchup to watch here in this one.
Oh.
Doug, run pass option, decides to keep it. He's going to backtrack, somehow get through this and just fall back around the, let's say, 26-yard line. That's about a loss of 9 there. Going to set up a second and long. Not what Armstrong wanted on their first play after Highlands able to really have an impressive drive, as we keep mentioning, Doug.
That's what I was fearful. And you saw 54 and 72, the two guys I highlighted, go straight through that line and give Caden fits.
So with that being the case, Doug, we're going to have to pay attention to Caden Olson's kind of release. Is he going to try to get rid of the ball quicker and get some shorter routes? A pump fake right there. Instead, he goes deep. Double move indeed. Oh! Almost brought in off the tip. Shuttleworth had to kind of step on the defender, but the safety coming over as well to make a play on it. Even after deflection, Shuttleworth with a chance, but unable to bring it in. Bring up a third and quite long.
Had him on the double move, Joe, but that safety came over and broke up that play. Read Caden really well there, but then he wasn't able to control the ball, and it almost went right into Shuttleworth's hands.
So third, we're going to say
19.
Yeah, third and 19. So I was correct there in the first one. 2 receivers to both sides here. Fakes the handoff. Does Olson's going to roll out to the right. Pump fake again. He's going to try to run with this one. He's already got 500 yards this season. Why not a couple more? Puts his head down and reaches out for about a gain of 17. But I don't think you're in fourth down territory here, Doug. 2 yards short. But geez, pizza. You got to love that effort from Caden Olson. As I mentioned, 500 rushing yards coming into this season on 76 marks.
I was just about to say, absolutely love the effort by Caden there.
Marked
him out to 40. Yeah, I think he stepped out before he was able to reach. But that's a 3 and out. You know, you're behind the chains there, Joe, and imperative that Armstrong get a stop.
Do you question that deep throw on the 2nd and 19? Because a play last week for the Steelers that really bothered me at a 3rd and 2, and you're throwing that sideline pass to Chase Claypool. Do you maybe just try to get a chunk of that and live to play 3rd down? You got to wonder. The punt is off. Camping under that is number 2. That, of course, is Montreal Johnson. Johnson's got a seam there to the left, but a pile of Hawks able to converge on the ball carrier around the 42-yard line, and that's where Highlands will begin their second drive of the game, already leading 7-0.
Yeah, you know, you couldn't ask for a better start for Highlands. Right down the field, get a touchdown, force Armstrong into a 3 and out, get the ball, have some more good field position. Riverhawks need to get here.
I want to make a quick shout out. I promised him today that I would. Luke Canish, I know you can't be here with us tonight. Got a little bit of an injury bug there, but we're thinking about you, bud, and hope you're enjoying the telecast here on High Top Sports Network. Get well soon, and we'll see you here at the next Hawks game, hopefully.
One of the biggest Riverhawk fans I've ever seen, Joe.
I would say the biggest. Little pass right over the head of Jacobs. What a nice throw there by Timmons. The catch brought in there. Hard to see that number here this far away. But a heck of a throw, throwing it just over the head of Jacobs.
Tony Jones, 15, Joe. Nice touch pass. Didn't expect to see that.
Yeah, there was somebody behind the intended target, and then Jacobs, of course, in front of it, and able to kind of, like you said, loft that in between those two defenders. A great throw, and man, oh man, this Highlands offense for a team coming in on a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, looking really sharp right now.
Snap taken. Timmons is going to fake the handle, keep it himself. Take it back out to the left. Give a stiff arm. There's another nice block. He's going to make it out to about the, we'll say, the 37-yard line. Another nice run by the big quarterback, Timmons.
I like the patience that he showed there, Joe. You know, there was really nothing up the middle, and he just elected to bounce out outside to pick up the first down.
The first time I took time to notice, 6'4", 210 is what he's listed as. That is not a small.
Big Ben, Joe.
Right, that is Big Ben. Well, Big Ben might have another 60 pounds on him. They've been lying about his weight on the reports for years. Fresh set of downs here for the Golden Rams. They look to the sideline, hoping to change the play call. Maybe saw something there. Timmons remains in the gun. We've seen him there primarily, except for that goal line quarterback keeper. Pressure, he steps up in the pocket well. He's going to roll out to the right.
That's grounded.
That should be either grounding or his knee might have hit.
He's down. They're going to call him down, Joe.
That's the right call there. Very bang play, but it did look like his knee did hit. So about a 4-yard loss, and I give credit to Isaiah Brown. He has been so dynamic, Doug. We'd love to talk about what he's done on the offensive side. I believe it is 5th in the WPIAL in receiving yards, and that young man missed 2 games to start this season.
That's crazy.
How that's possible, I'm not sure.
Isaiah, phenomenal season, but he doesn't get enough credit for his defense, Joe. And his defense has been really good when he's been out there. Many times matched up against the other team's best player as well.
Yeah, being that good offensively can sometimes take away or kind of overshadow what someone's able to do defensively. I think about Zane Dudek when he would play at Armstrong, played that safety position. When he got hurt in that playoff game that year, tackle in the backfield. Nice job there. Two-string tackle. Is there 6 or 88? Not sure there, Doug. I don't know if you spotted that one.
Yeah, I think it was the turf monster, Joe.
But to wrap up my point there is when Zane got hurt in that playoff game that year, I thought that hurt the Riverhawks more not having him back there at safety.
For defense.
Exactly. Than it might have actually at the running back position where he was clearly dynamic, the WPIAL all-time leading rusher at that time.
3rd and long. This is Highlands not in a good situation here. Don't let anything get behind you. If you're the Riverhawks, keep it in front. 3rd and 14.
Very similar position the Riverhawks were in their last drive. A 3rd and quite long. Timmons has plenty of time. Throws this one over the middle. And that one's picked. Oh!
Hit the ground.
But you know what? Give credit again to Chandler Timmons. Nice touch on that one. I think is that Jack Valasek, I believe, number 2. No, I'm sorry, that's Connor Segola. I apologize. Kind of maybe to get that hand in there last second, but again, another great throw by Chandler Timmons.
Yeah, that's one. Timmons, if he just leads him a little bit more, Highlands might come down with that play. But he couldn't do it, and now the Riverhawks hopefully getting a little control of this game.
Oh, is that number 32? I do believe, Doug, if that is in fact 32, that's Nigel Jack. And a punt. First time the Golden Rams have needed to do so here today. It is indeed Jack. So short punt. It's going to bounce out of bounds around the 21.5-yard line. They're going to mark it at 21, and that's where the Riverhawks will take over for their second drive of the contest after going 3 and out on their first possession. So we're going to try to take a look. Actually, we're going to stay here with you. Doug, your overall impression, a couple drives into this one. Obviously, I think it kind of favors Highlands the way this game is being played right now, but just give me your overall impressions.
Yeah, Highlands, perfect start to the game. Nice 7 points. It's time for the Riverhawks to show why they're ahead of Highlands in the standings here, and I think they will. I think they're starting to get some control here.
You know, the one common theme to beating the Riverhawks over the last few years, you look at a team like Plum last year, they had tons of size. That's the one thing that over the years it's really hurt Armstrong, especially the last 4 games. And here's Olsen just bottled up, met by just a bevy of Rams players. I'm going to say about a loss of 1. That's a kind of a good spot there. They blew that dead early.
Yeah, that was an option play, Joe, and there was nothing there. So Caden, he couldn't even pitch it. He had to just keep it. Again, that interior line of Highlands making its presence felt here early in this contest.
Second down and say 11.5-ish, maybe 12, whatever you want to call it here. Olsen in the gun, running back to his right, fakes it, throws it out in the slot to Isaiah Brown, able to kind of truck forward there for about a gain of 4 to set up a 3rd and 6.
That was their little tunnel screen play. You know, I've seen that week after week. That's an Armstrong staple. Again, Highlands busting through that line. They tried to catch him. Not a lot of room there to the near side of the field.
And now the near side of the field here, 3 receivers to it. One at the top, that's Isaiah Brown. Maybe look at that matchup as it looks like he's going to have one-on-one coverage. And, man, has he been able to exploit that this season when that's the case, including last week with 2 huge touchdowns. He was actually our gross embroidery player of the week last week and just really seeming to find his stride after missing those first 2 games.
He's going for him deep.
A little push off there, but Segola kind of slowed up his route there and was too worried about creating that separation, put the hand out against the defender. That actually might have cost him there, Doug.
Yeah, corner trying to get a little separation from the DB, and that's why the pass was overthrown, but another 3 and out.
And to my point in that last drive, Doug, you have a kind of a third manageable there. Are you trying to throw the ball downfield on a guy that's kind of in, you want to say there's 2 defenders around that ball. Do you maybe just look for another throw in the slot or one of those kind of dink and dunk plays and just try to live to play another down?
Yeah, I think he had Shuttleworth over the middle there. Might have been a better option.
This is going to be Jackson Crispin with a line drive punt. This one might get a generous roll. It was a line drive. And the return will pick it up and turn it into about a 10-yard return it's like Armstrong almost gave up on the play, assuming that he was just going to let that one go. Instead, he snagged it at the last moment and turned it into a 10-yard return out to about the 44-yard line.
Great field position for the Highlands Golden Rams again, Joe. When it's high school, and my philosophy when you're punting the ball is punt it away from the return man. Don't give him a chance to pick that up and run. And, you're playing on turf. The ball can kick some crazy ways. But give Highlands credit again for the Golden Rams. First down, 3 minutes left.
Now Chandler Timmons will come out with a 3 wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. And said he'll keep this option. Gets past a couple defenders, but then met by a second line of Armstrong tacklers and brought down right around the original line of scrimmage.
Jackson Chrisman pops the quarterback there. There was an RPO. He elected to keep it, and Chrisman made him pay. Nice to see, Joe.
So a second down, and
10, no gain. Yeah.
2:41 left here in the first quarter. Things kind of rolling right along, and when you have this style of play, we talked about that. When you run the ball as much as Highlands has here so far, you're going to heat up clock, and that just keeps Caden Olson and that dynamic Armstrong offense on the side. Another great pass by Timmons, and a shoestring tackle once again there by, I think that's Jack Bell, number 15. First year playing football. Man, has he been impressive.
Yeah, and it's a good thing Jack made that tackle, because if he doesn't get him to the turf, that's probably a touchdown. But Jack was able to get the job done, and now it's 3rd and 1 here. Big play.
I don't want to continue to sing Timmons' praises here, but again, that's a throw you expect your quarterback to make. But it's so important to put it on the spot so that guy's not breaking his stride.
Yeah, another nice touch pass. Very impressive so far.
And, it's probably extra motivation for that young man, because he knows the quarterback on the other sideline is getting most of those headlines, and he wants to prove here tonight that he's up to the task. And fine quarterback himself, a little sweep outside, lowering the head there. Number 33, Luke. That will move the sticks again. This run game of Highlands showing no signs of stopping, Doug.
Yeah, Highlands might have found something here. They're running to the right a lot, Joe, and they're coming around and getting 5-yard chunks. And that's all you need to do when it's 3rd and 1.
I give a quick shout out to Ryan Burns on the camera here for us tonight, doing an excellent job as always. He and Colton Henderson, as I like to say, are our best 2 cameramen. Just it's like a craft, it's an art, and these guys know how to do it. So thank you, Ryan, for being here. About a run off right guard, and Wolfke again for about a gain. He'll save 3.
Pick up a 3 in the play. Yeah, that time it was Dylan Gagini. He had him wrapped up there. Bobalski took him for a little ride, but only 3 yards.
Do you know what? That's a big 3 yards in the fact that it wears you down. You're going to keep taking these hits, and if you can get 3 yards in every carry, you'll take that.
Yeah, I like how he falls forward, Joe.
That seems like something that Highlands is going to try to do here tonight. Wear down Armstrong. Use that size up front, as you mentioned early on, Doug. Timmons going to go back to the air. Throws that slant a little bit behind, but bringing it in well there was Braden White.
But sophomore.
Yeah, Timmons, again, nice touch on the ball. That time he was able to lead him a little bit. 3rd and 1 again here, Joe. Look for them to pound up the middle.
And often, Doug, we see teams that like to hurry up offense, maybe catch your opponent off guard. Highlands very content with taking their time, using much of that play clock. And as I keep going back to, just chewing up clock and keeping Caden Olson on the sideline. You look now, 35 seconds left here in quarter number 1. And this Armstrong team has yet to get on the scoreboard.
There he goes.
He's at the 10, the 5, and in for a touchdown. Chandler Timmons on the last 24 seconds left here in the first quarter. But 13-0 the score, and Highlands controlling the tempo in this one.
Wow, a quarterback sneak. Highlands just looking for that first down is what I suspected. And I believe I did the McKeesport game, Joe. One of their best plays was a QB sneak up the middle. You gotta wonder if Highlands will have to look at that tape a little bit.
And with Timmons running with the kind of power he is, stiff-arming everybody in his path and throwing the ball, I really haven't seen one bad pass from that young man here so far. Riverhawks are going to have to make some adjustments, or else this one might get out of hand quickly.
We got a shocker right now down here in Highlands, 14-0. Now Armstrong has plenty of time, and we know they're a quick strike offense. You don't even have a first down here in the first quarter. I'm just amazed right now, Joe.
And I would be remiss, Doug, if I didn't mention that was the UFP Parker extra point. And before that, the Highlands making it into the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone once again. So thank you to Ryan Bowser State Farm and Gross Embroidery. Or excuse me, UFP Parker, I apologize. But thank you, Gross Embroidery, too. But thank you, everybody. appreciate our sponsors. You all know who you are. And you folks out there for tuning in. You have plenty of ways to spend your Friday night. You chose to spend it with myself, Ryan, and Doug. So certainly appreciate you taking your Friday and spending it here with us on High Top Sports Network. So really, Armstrong, you obviously want to get something going on the offensive side. As you mentioned, I don't think it would take long for this Armstrong offense to start clicking and find their groove. You said it's quick. It's a quick strike offense. They can score in bunches. They haven't scored less than 30 points in their last 3 games, Doug, so we know that they can put points on the board despite slow starts. But I think that's got to change here on this drive, or as I mentioned, you might just be giving Highlands a little too much momentum.
Yeah, this is very unexpected. Don't count out these Riverhawks because there's no quit in them, and they still got 3 quarters of ball here to play.
And Doug, I got to mention, Highlands, despite some of their woes, they have the 3rd best scoring defense or points allowed in this section.
Yeah, another nice play there by Highlands. Noah Shuttleworth. Thought he had a little bit of room there, but 20-yard line for the Riverhawks.
We talk about time of possession, but you mentioned it earlier. Highlands in their last drive, great field position. They were somewhere around the 40-yard line. Here's Armstrong starting another drive around their 20. So we're talking about 20 yards. That 20 yards can make a difference.
Yeah. Highlands definitely has a lot of confidence. You can see on the sideline, and it's homecoming. They're wearing their pink. They're all fired up over here. Big crowd on the Highlands side. Perfect storm right now for Highlands.
Really nothing doing for the Armstrong offense except that long 3rd down run by Olsen that came about 2 yards short, a scamper of 17 yards, I want to say that was. That's really the only big play, and here's a handoff, and that Highlands defense just getting tremendous penetration and dropping the ball carrier in the backfield for about a loss of 1.
That time it was Alex Patton. We call him the general, and he's been running all over teams this year, but not on that play.
And not an ideal start for the Riverhawks, but picture perfect for the Rams. And the 4, Highlands 14, Armstrong nothing as we head into quarter number 2. We're going to take a quick break here on High Top Sports Network. Stay tuned for second quarter action here on HTSN.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Tonight we are those in our fighting to fight against cancer.
Armscare, located at 85 Glade Drive in Katanning, provides the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, and service for use in your home. After an accident, illness, or surgery, the caring professionals at Armscare can assist you in getting the appropriate medical equipment into your home where you can make the most progress on your recovery. Armscare offers 24/7 emergency service as well as a wide variety of specialized medical equipment, and their experienced staff is committed to helping you or your loved one regain normalcy by providing the highest level of quality home care equipment, supplies, and service. Contact Armscare at 724-545-3200 today.
And welcome back to High Top Sports Network. Highlands able to punch it in with 24 seconds left in the first quarter to go up 14-0 over the Armstrong Riverhawks, who are looking to clinch a playoff berth and punch their ticket into the postseason with a victory here tonight. But Highlands clearly with different plans, Doug.
Yeah, Highlands was all fired up, and one quarter does not make a football game, Joe, so Armstrong needs to flip the script here.
We did talk before that break how important this drive is. You want to show that you can do something, because as I mentioned, the only really successful play was that scamper, that broken play that Olsen turned into a 17-yard run. Otherwise, a non-existent offense for this Riverhawks team. Olsen's going to fake the handoff. He's going to look for Brown, then go to the other side. Going to try to step up, but he is met again, and the offensive line having a hard time protecting Olsen for any significant amount of time right now. Really just credit to Highlands front line there on the defense.
That time I watched Cade. He looked for Isaiah first. Isaiah was double teamed. He wasn't there. He went through his progressions, and he couldn't find anybody. And again, a 3rd and long for the Riverhawks.
Becoming a common theme here, Doug. And deep in their own territory as well. Ball around the 14-yard line there. Olsen, we need to pick up, get to at least the 32. Nice slant there. And through the hands of the intended target and picked off by the Golden Rams. That laterals it. Yeah, there's Brian Randolph with the pick. tries the lateral, and I think they lost yards on it, so maybe not a smart play and a risky play at that. I'm sure his coaches will remind him when he gets to the sideline that no need to do that. Flag, that's going to be a personal foul. It looks like, Doug, unsportsmanlike conduct.
I'm not sure who that flag is going to be on, Joe, but there's a ball that went right through the hands, right into a Highlands defender. And, wow, what a start for Highlands.
Yeah, right through the hands of Connor Segola. A good route. He had his defender beat. Olsen put that one right on his hands, but threw them and into the hands of the awaiting defender, number 24, Brian Randolph. Referee going to signal what the infraction was. Personal foul.
Wow.
Against
Armstrong.
So add insult to injury.
Oh, both ways, Joe. They're going
ways.
to call both ways.
Okay.
Tit for tat, Joe.
First down at the Armstrong 31-yard line.
So after the interception, again, we talked about Caden Olsen coming in with just 6 interceptions. I would venture to guess that at least 4 of those that I can think of off the top of my head were off the hands of an intended target. So really a number that's so skewed just because of the deflections on attempted receptions.
Yep. Highlands up 14 and taking over to Riverhawk 30, Joe.
Timmons, who's on a roll right now, throwing the football and running, and he's going to get on him. A wobbler, though, but can't be under it. He's number 28. Boy, oh boy, what a picturesque start for Highlands. Again, that was 28. Not seen that on our roster here, Doug.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Unfortunate for that young man. Would love to give him some props. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Well, that's number 20. Thank you. Yeah, Landon Signorella with a nice route there. But really, what was the defensive back doing there, Doug? A ton of separation, about 5-yard gap between the defensive back and
again, they go into that post play, and he was open over the middle. The pass was really wobbly, Joe, but when you're that wide open, it really doesn't matter.
Tombalski's extra point up and good. And if I were to tell you it'd be 21-0 here, barely into the second quarter, Doug, your response would be?
I'm in disbelief here, Joe, but it's 21-0 Highlands, and they've just dominated in every facet of this game so far.
Well, we're going to take a quick timeout before the Golden Rams kick it off to the Riverhawks, who are now trailing by 21. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back on High Top Sports Network.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
In Ford City, talk to State Farm agent Ryan Bowser today.
And welcome back to High Top Sports Network. Joe Rhodes, Doug Flanders, Ryan Burns on the call here. A start that we were not picturing.
Number 5,
I really thought Armstrong heavy favorite in this one. But Highlands, again, we talked about how important it is to get started on the right foot, and they did that, and they just kind of kept that going ever since. And now barely, as I said, barely in the second quarter here, Doug, up 21-0.
So it's a lot of points, Joe. Armstrong has the capabilities to come back, but they got to get this corrected in a hurry.
And that's a great point, Doug, because I don't want to be just speaking it until it's just annoying to hear, but you know, this team can score quickly, and you got to start somewhere. So again, we mentioned that last drive, and I feel like I was correct. You needed to do something on that. You just gave me more momentum getting that interception and punching it in. When you can turn those turnovers into points, that just boosts your morale that much more. Brought in, I think this is Brown. He's going to bring it out, try to spin around a tackler, and brought down around the 35-yard line. Good thing for Armstrong is that's their best field position, I want to say, Doug, of the game.
Yeah, when the 35-yard, your own 35 is your best field position, that's not a good thing, Joe.
See what the Armstrong offense, what adjustments they are going to make here in this drive. I want to say, is this drive number 3 or 4, Doug? I mean, you're the math guy. That's why I count on you so much here.
Well, Highlands has scored on every possession, so that's 3. Or no, they had to punt once, right? Yeah, 4, so this is Armstrong's 4th.
And I would love to know their total yards here thus far, Doug. I wouldn't be surprised if it's right around even.
Yeah, literally only one positive play. Everything else has been negative.
So we'll see what kind of adjustments are made. Kind of a twin set wide out on both sides. Patton in the backfield with Olsen. He's going to give the handoff. Big hole there. The general's going to scamper down into Highlands territory, brought down around the 49. So a good start there on the first play of the 4th drive for Armstrong.
Nice little quick hitter there. Mix it up a little bit. Patton right up the gut. Armstrong, no huddle.
Yep, right.
Try to change the tempo.
I like that a lot. We talked about keeping the other team off balance, but also, too, There's Olsen. Oh, I think he still is behind the line of scrimmage. A nice little move there.
Wow.
Turning nothing into something. I want to say, was that Shuttleworth who caught that? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it was. It was indeed Noah Shuttleworth. And give him credit. Tacklers all around him able to turn nothing into something for about a gain of 5.
That time you saw Highlands in an A-gap blitz there, Joe, and they came right up the gut. So Caden had to go wide, and then it's called awareness. You know, the guys are all coming to Caden, so he did a quick little pass out there to Noah. Give Noah credit for being ready for that and getting some positive yards.
That's an excellent point, Doug. And clever play by Olsen. I think everybody in the Highlands side assumed he was going to run that football. Able to stay behind the line of scrimmage and get it. Shuttleworth, here's Patton up the middle. Brings the ball. And a flag. It looks like number 11 on Highlands. Is that correct, Doug?
Yeah.
Drake Burford going after Isaiah Brown. Their flag's coming out immediately. It looks like we're going to have unsportsmanlike conduct. The third such call so far in this one.
Surely they're not going to call this one both ways, Joe, because I think that was obviously initiated by Highlands.
Well, you can tell by the way that Shuttleworth came flying in there to defend his teammate. It is against Highlands. Doug, great call. Another nice break for Armstrong. These are the kind of things you got to take advantage of at this stage of the game. You're already in a 21-0 hole. So every little advantage you must take advantage of. We've seen Highlands do it. They turned that interception deep in Armstrong territory into 7 points, and with Armstrong getting 15 more yards, and now you're sitting 26 yards out now, Doug.
Probably Armstrong's best play of the game there, Joe.
Yes, only 2 yards shorter than Olsen's broken play scramble. He's in the gun, 3 receivers to his right. He's going to go left.
Option.
He's going to keep that option. He did have Patton outside. He's going to run forward that big 6'4" frame of his, get it out to about the 22-yard line and give him a gain of 3. He's going to say 4, but I'll say 3.
Option play that time. Caden elected to keep it instead of giving the pitch. Pick up the 3 or 4 yards. Good first down play. Let's not get behind the chains anymore.
It should be noted, still not a lot going on in this pass game so far for Armstrong. Most of their success is coming on the ground. The very little success they've had thus far. Olsen, 4 receivers, 2 to each side. Takes the handoff to Pat, tries to spin around some tacklers, but Highlands needing Olsen pretty much where the line of scrimmage was. I'll say no gain there, but they're really cueing in on him, it looks like, Doug. They know that it seems like more often than not he's going to keep that.
Yeah, the Highlands lines are winning the battle at the line of scrimmage, Joe, and that is so important in a game. Caden, there's just nothing there. 3rd and 7, huge, Joe. If we can get a first down here.
And you want to see a play that's kind of going for the sticks here, Doug. We've seen a couple long plays on 3rd downs. I want to live to move the sticks and play another set of downs here. If you're Armstrong, about 7 yards away from
offsides.
There it comes in. A nice job by there, Doug. And give credit to Olsen there. A hard count, clap those hands real loud, and that threw the defender offside. So smart play, a high IQ play there by Caden Olsen.
Yeah, and 2 careless penalties by Highlands. What you're starting to do is you're starting to breathe life into the Riverhawks now. The big 15-yard personal foul. Now you have the offsides to make it a 3rd and 2. Much more manageable here for the Riverhawks.
Riverhawks looking to the sideline, waiting for the call. It's going to be 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. 1 at the top, that's Isaiah Brown. Patton, I believe that is in the backfield with Olsen. He's going to hand it off to Patton, fakes the throw. Patton's going to try to get the edge, but this big, speedy defense of Highlands able to wrap him up and bring him down around the 19-yard line. That'll bring up a 4th, and we'll say about 3.
Yeah, the general trying to come around the side. It's not there, but this is 4-down territory, Joe, so I don't mind that play.
And it's, I think, especially 4-down territory, Doug, knowing that the score is 21-0. I don't think field goals are going to do much for you at this stage, even so early, but I think Armstrong going to go for it more often than not. This deep in Highlands territory. 4 receivers. Patton in the backfield with Olsen. Olsen looking to the sideline.
Yeah, he's trying to get him to jump there, Joe. It didn't work. I don't know what they're going to do. Timeout. Yeah, it's going to be a timeout.
It is indeed a timeout. So Armstrong not liking the look they had out there, smartly deciding to call a timeout here with 7 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first half. They trail 21-0 to the Highlands Golden Rams. So we're going to take a quick break here on High Top Sports Network. For Ryan Burns, Doug Flanders, and Joe Rhodes, we'll be right back.
With over 40 years of experience, the fine folks at Steffi's Country Catering in Adrian can provide you with several scrumptious options for your next family gathering, corporate event, or tailgate. Make sure to try one of their custom meat and cheese trays or pick up a delicious Sunday takeout special. Steffi's Country Catering is a Leader Times Silver Best of winner 3 years running. And as the holidays approach, get back to celebrating with friends and family and leave the cooking to Steffi's. Sugar Rush Cupcakes by Tara are available by order. That's Steffi's Country Catering. Find them on Facebook.
And welcome back to High Top Sports Network. Armstrong driving here with 7 minutes and 12 seconds left in the second quarter. And again, we talked about clock management. Armstrong used up a lot of clock of their own here on this drive. Started around the, what do we say, the 32-yard line, I want to say. Yeah. Now they're down in the Highlands territory at the 19, we'll say 18 actually. Olsen in the gun. He's going to move to his left. He's going to pitch that out to Patton, but no. That defense of Highlands just ready for it.
What a huge play for the Golden Rams to keep Armstrong off the board and take over at their own 20-yard line. Nice little option pitch play. Highlands was ready.
And, you know, they I can't remember a time where they didn't look ready, Doug.
Yeah.
I've been sniffing that all night, whether it's the option pitch right there, all over it. And so Armstrong, I don't want to say maybe go away from it, but might have to open up the playbook a little bit more here.
Well, pregame, we were talking about what Highlands was going to do. Were they going to stack the box and play or were they going to play the pass? And they're playing the pass and adjusting to the run, and they're winning up front. And good game plan.
Highlands coming out with a spread look here. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 1 at the top. Handoff's going to go to Bumbalski. He's going to be met and brought down immediately by, let's say that was number 12. Dozic Zablocki, who's having a nice year on the defensive side for the Riverhawks. Let's bring up a second, and we'll say 6.
And that's what Highlands wants to do. They want to get 3 or 4 yards on first down, and that's what's happening. And they're getting themselves in second and medium, and they're just controlling the clock and controlling the game.
Keep saying I want to talk it in nauseum about time of possession, but it is so important in a game like this. You know, your best asset if you're Armstrong is Caden Olsen, and no, he doesn't play defense, and he's on the sideline on defensive plays. There's another broken tackle. Finally brought down, I believe, by Zablocki on the 39-yard line. A nice play design, a great throw again by Timmons, but a good job breaking tackles there by number 15. Tony Jones.
That's where you saw the soft coverage, Joe, keeping them in front, but then what happened was they didn't tackle. They broke the tackle and relied on the safety to come over and make the play, and by that time, well past the first down marker.
A stat not available to us that I'd love to see right now, Doug, is just total first downs. Highlands with another one right there. Timmons, drop back, short little pass, throws another nice kind of touch pass to the outside, and taken out of bounds was Bumbalski. About 3 yards, we'll say, 3 yards short of moving the 6 once again, Doug. So they are just getting first downs, racking them up at this point. Armstrong defense really no answer for Timmons.
Another nice call on first down. Again, 6-7 yards, get them in second and 3. Average on first downs in this game, Joe, would be an interesting stat.
Absolutely, and wouldn't be surprised you see Timmons or Bumbalski run up the middle here. It's going to be Bumbalski.
There you go.
Plenty of room and kind of runs over Connor Segola. That I mentioned early on, he's not the tallest player, but you can tell he's kind of stout. He's only a sophomore, but a couple plays just like that, he showed exactly his ability to truck the defender and did it right there to Connor Segola.
Yeah, real nice cut there by Bumbalski, and he's a tough little runner to bring down. Highlands enters Armstrong's half of the field. I really wouldn't want to see them get down by another score here, Joe. We need a turnover. We need a play. Somebody make a play.
Yeah, we're getting to that point where you can't just get so far behind. You know you've got him. And the screen breaks another tackle and then brought down around the 39-yard line by Isaiah Brown. That was number 20 for the Golden Rams. Landon Signorella. Another nice play design by the Golden Rams, though.
Great call by Highlands. You saw Armstrong, and here comes all the pressure. Boom, middle screen. I actually thought it was going to go for a lot more. But, again, first down play, 9 yards, Joe.
And, that's one thing. You equip your running back, you equip your quarterback specifically with good play designs like that, and it makes his job so much easier and helps him settle in and be comfortable. And the one thing you noticed from Highlands here so far, they're making his throws some not too difficult. Throwing out in the flat, throwing some screens like that. There, Timmons brought down hard.
Keeper by Chandler Timmons.
That time the Riverhawks were ready. That was Jackson Chrisman busting through that line, and he's had another great season. What a player he's been in the middle there.
Absolutely. Won our player of the game during this season. I want to say during one of the Armstrong Riverhawks victories this season. And an important stop there by Chrisman as it comes on third down. We'll say about 3 for the Golden Rams. Very crucial, I think, for Armstrong to come up with a big stop here with just 4:07, believe it or not, Doug, left in half number 1.
This time is flying, Joe. This clock. Man.
Timmons fakes the handoff, pump fake, then brought down from behind by number 73. Big Julius Barnes with the tackle.
Good to hear Julius's name. Julius needs to make his presence felt in there, but unfortunately it was enough for the Highlands first down, Joe. So they're going to keep milking this clock.
You know, Doug, I would not be surprised if Highlands has more first downs on this drive than Armstrong does thus far in total.
Yeah.
And that's not a stat you want to be on the wrong side of.
No. And, Highlands' game plan here is just milk this clock, try to even get a field goal. I mean, push that lead if you can. Don't give Caden time.
Nice pump fake by Timmons. On the sideline, a little underthrown, but give credit to Jack Falasek closing in on that one.
That was a double move, and he had Falasek beat, but the pass was underthrown, a little wobbly, and gave Falasek time to recover. Give him credit. Almost, if you're Highlands.
You know what? That has to be the worst throw that Timmons has thrown all day, and Doug, it's fair to say he's due because he has thrown the ball well here so far over the first 2 quarters. Only 3:21 left here in quarter number 2. Timmons remains in the gun. Almost an offside call. He knows where that pressure is going to come from there on the right side of his line, left side of Armstrong's. 4 receivers to his disposal here, and Bumbalski in the backfield, flanked to his left. Timmons drops back.
Oh, he's got him.
Another one there. And what a grabber. What did I say? Brought in. He dropped it after contacting the ground.
Number 11.
Yeah, number 11.
11 from Armstrong.
Yeah, 11 on 11. That was
Drake Burford.
Yeah, Drake Burford. Kind of a 50-50 ball there and just wanted it to seem like he wanted a little bit more than Shuttleworth.
He had a step on him there, Joe, and he was able to bring it in. And now it is 1st and goal, Rams.
Another first down on this drive. Just racking them up here, Doug. That would, so far in this first half, that has to be the most interesting stat.
Up the middle, be ready.
Hand off to Bumbalski. Trucks his way in, and just like that, 27-0 Highlands, showing no signs of stopping and just running over the Armstrong defense. Another methodical drive that ends with 6. Looking to make it 7 here with the extra point.
Highlands just executing every facet of the game. Armstrong on its heels. They only have 2:47. They really need to get something here in this first half before we go to the half, Joe.
Doug, that's an excellent point. I think if you're able to score here, you get a touchdown right here, I think that could really, truly make the difference in what happens in the second half. You got to get some sort of momentum heading into that second half because Highlands has owned it here so far. And really, do you want to be heading in the second half and getting that second half kickoff down by 28?
Right.
If you get to 21 and you know you're getting that football, it makes it a little more manageable. Again, just momentum squarely on the side of the Rams.
What Armstrong needs to do now, they got 2:47. They have 3 timeouts. They need to get the ball, go down, get a score, and then they take over to start the second half. So they need to double up here.
Jake Canish stopping up here at the booth. Congratulations to Jake, a new athletic director at Armstrong Senior High School, a new addition. Be helping Todd Harvey there, and congratulations to Jake.
If I had told you the score was going to be 28-0, Joe, I don't think any of us thought that Highlands would have the 28.
We like to have a little bit of fun, think about total points going in the game, maybe some spreads and things like that. Doug, if we would have bet on this, we would have lost bad. But there's still plenty of game left. I don't want to just put the cart before the horse here and assume that this one's over. When you have Payne Olsen at quarterback, you can make up points quickly. But to your point, Doug, and it was an excellent point at that, I think it's so crucial that the Riverhawks find a way to score before the half. Tough thing to do with just 2:47 left, but again, and mistake. I don't want to sound like a homer here, but in Caden Olson, I do believe.
Yeah, I haven't given up yet. I think Armstrong has the ability to come back.
A squib kick here by Bobbalski. Brought in by
Zablocki.
Yeah, Zablocki. A nice little return there by that young man.
Right.
And out to about the 41, so that's what Olson and company will take over with 2:39 left in the first half. Things just kind of rolling along here. Let's talk about something positive, Doug. Unbelievable weather. You would think this is the kind of weather we would have had for the first week of the season. I think that's that last Friday in August is when the season kicks off. This feels like that kind of weather. It's crazy. The 15th of October. I love it. I don't want it to change.
70 degrees, 0 wind. We're out here on the porch. We're worried about rain. We didn't even set up the tent. It's in the car,
It
Jim.
might actually turned out better being outside, but it's warm in there. It's sticky, you know. Should mention we're going to have great weather tomorrow, so I can beat you in golf, Doug.
The big anticipated golf match is
Spot is 6. Yeah. Olson back out there. Maybe a blitz coming there. Maybe a disguise blitz. Not sure Olson's going to be looking for it.
motion, procedure.
And that's going to go against the Riverhawks. Just too much going on there. Trying to maybe play mind games with Highlands, and it backfires on the Riverhawks. So push them back 5 more yards.
You know, a lot of high schools are going to this dummy count. You see Highlands do it. You see the Riverhawks do it.
So Penn State did it against Iowa, and how'd that work out for them?
They're trying to see where the blitzers are coming from. And most of the time it works, but not that time.
Four wide receivers for the Riverhawks, 2 to both sides. Patton in the backfield. Olson's going to throw this one, a slant, and another drop. And that is just a backbreaker right there. Isaiah Brown's looking downfield, thinking he already secured it. And you see that play so often in football, you're running without it, and that's the case right there. Another drop and another huge one. That's going to set up a 2nd and 15. Talk about that drop that went through the hands of the receiver earlier, turned into an interception that Highlands was able to turn into 7 points. These drops are just backbreakers, Doug.
That just shows you how this first half has gone. That's your bread and butter play to one of your best receivers, and just right through his hands.
There's a throw to the outside to Shuttleworth, but again, Highlands defense all over it. And Doug, we were talking about Armstrong doing something before the half. Armstrong's going to punt the ball away here. No, I'm sorry, 15, I apologize. I thought it was 4th down there. That penalty obviously made it replay 1st down. But, you know, you really want to try to get the first here, because if you punt it, Highlands is probably going to have some pretty good field position the way that Timmons and that offense is rolling right now. Dare I say, could they score again before half?
Yeah, don't even say that, Joe. I'm sliding here.
Here's Olson. He's going to go deep. Looks like
desperation.
Brownie brings the catch in. What a kill by Isaiah Brown.
Huge play by Isaiah. Stretched out, diving through midair. Joe, it was like the Lynn Swan play.
We were the whole way across the field, and you could see just how difficult that catch was. A fingertip catch, just maybe a half foot above the field of play. He just seems to be getting better and better as the weeks go by, and what a luxury for Caden Olson. Next play, a quick little wide receiver screen, cutting it back through the middle. Was Connor Segola. Ball spotted at the 27-yard line. Armstrong quickly back to the line of scrimmage. 1:26 left here in quarter number 2. Throwing out that Brown right around the sticks. I think they're going to mark him short.
How many times this season have we seen Isaiah Brown make huge plays? And that was another one right there. He juggled the ball, was able to haul it in. 3rd and 1. Let's get the first.
A big 3rd and 1 here for Caden Olson, the Armstrong offense. 4 receivers. He's going to move the running back to his left. He's going to go that direction, pitch it out to him. That's it. Going to cut back towards the 10. Be brought down around the 6. A powerful run there by the Riverhawks. They're going to have 1st and goal. And to be remiss if I didn't mention we are in the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone.
You see how quickly this game is changing, Joe. You know, you make the big play. That time the option play to the general, Alex Patton. And that time the corner was there. That's the first time on the option that corner has been there so he could get that 1st down. 1st and goal, Riverhawks.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. In the slot there is Shuttleworth.
Timeout, Highlands.
And Highlands, probably a smart timeout there. They know how big this could be. They'd rather keep Armstrong to 28 points heading in the second half. So you figure this game could really swing if Armstrong gets in here, gets that opening kickoff in the second half, and if they were able to punch that opening drive, and all of a sudden that deficit cut right in half.
Yeah, that was that double possession that I was talking about. Again, and I've mentioned this on previous broadcasts. That's why I always like to defer. You always want to get that ball to start the second half, because if you can punch in a score and get that double possession and score again, all of a sudden we got a real nice ball game going on. There's not going to be any time left for Highlands. We're 30 seconds. Riverhawks, still have timeouts, so they need to get this. They got to punch this ball in the end zone. Field goal is nothing. You have to get in the end zone.
Another score coming across my screen here. Our friend Mason Flanagan is on the call in the Burrell-Freeport game. Burrell finally getting on the scoring their first touchdown. They trail Freeport 14-9. Keep an eye on that one. Hopefully give you a score of the Kiski area Shaler game here as well. Another game in action here on High Top Sports Network. Plum playing host to Knox. So 4 games here on the network this evening. Make sure you log on to hightopsportsnetwork.com. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter. Make sure you like and follow to know when your favorite team is playing next. 4 receivers. Patton 2. Goes to his left. He's going to look to his right. Throw a dart. There's a playable ball maybe just a little bit in front of Connor Segola. But we saw Highlands have a similar play as they were driving this direction. That would have been, the first quarter then, where the defender was draped on the guy's back, but kind of creating that separation, bringing in the catch.
Yeah,
similar looking play there, Doug.
That was a dangerous pass. I didn't really like that on first down. There was a lot of Highlands defenders around that ball, skipping in the air like that. But falls harmlessly to the ground, 2nd and goal.
Watch this formation, Doug. 4, a bunch formation, the bottom of your screen. 1 lone receiver at the top. That's Brown. He's going to look that way. I like that. Put it back again. For a touchdown. The Riverhawks are on the scoreboard thanks to a nice play design and a touchdown by Isaiah Brown.
You know what, Joe? When I saw that formation, I knew they were going to go to the other side to Isaiah.
Especially when that guy's sitting on that side of the field, Doug.
Yeah, that's just... let's distract everybody. Let's put as many people we can on one side, and we're going to let Isaiah go one-on-one and make the play, and that's exactly what he did. Isaiah keeping the Riverhawks in this ball game, Joe.
And we're going to have a play of the game when this one's over, Doug, and I'm going to tell you if there's one right now that stands out. It's that play right there. A huge play late in the second quarter to get on the board. You're going to get the ball to start the second half. We can look back on this touchdown drive and think that was the one that really made a difference and sort of catapulted the Armstrong team back into contention in this one because, boy, oh boy, 28-0. It's easy to hang your head when that's the case, but Armstrong striking right back and cutting it down to a 21-point deficit.
Yeah, and extra points are going to be critical. Do not overlook this kicking game because Highlands got 28. So Armstrong, every time they score now, they need to make sure that they get these extra points. Because you can see some crazy things. It would be a heartbreaker to come so close and come up a little bit short.
I'd like to mention too, this is the TGIF Solutions game night on High Top Sports Network. We're at Highlands High School. The Armstrong Riverhawks paying a visit here to Natrona Heights, falling behind 28-0, but able to get on the board here with 21 seconds left in the second quarter. And as mentioned, they will receive the second half kickoff. The one thing here, Doug, and you mentioned this early on, do what you can to make sure that this does not get to a returner. Don't allow a big play here in special teams to burn you after you're able to kind of strike there and seize back a little bit of that momentum.
Yeah, this is 20 seconds left. Don't kick it to the speedsters. Find some green, a little squid. I would think that Highlands would even be content just to get to the half up 28-7.
You would think, but man, they've been able to kind of enforce their will here so far, Doug. And this team would love nothing more than
There's the squib.
Yep, it's going to get through to the back line though. Still. See if blockers can set something up there. He has a lot of open field here to this side, but
nothing. Good.
Runs right into the arms of number 8. That, of course, is Trevor Aldrich.
Number 4, Aaron Randolph, brought down by number 8.
13 seconds left.
3, Will Adams.
I would just take a knee and go to the half of your Highlands. I would not get cute here. Let's see what they like to do.
Yeah, we saw
first down with 13 seconds.
Ball hit off the hands of an Armstrong receiver and give Highlands great field position. There is 13 seconds left. Like you said, play it safe here. Either run the football, take a knee. But it looks like this team will throw just 2 receivers.
If I'm Armstrong, I would have these guys back. Crowding up there the line.
And Timmons rarely under center here, and you call
there it is.
He's really only under center when he's going to take a knee or a quarterback sneak, we've learned here thus far. But Highlands, you got to be happy with the start here in the first half. They head into the locker room with a 28-7 lead over the Armstrong Riverhawks, who are the second-place team in this section. Highlands, the whole way down, Doug. What are we going to say there? That is 6th place with that 4-3 record, 1-3 in section. So really, throw the records out the window right now. Highlands playing much above that 1-3 section mark.
Yeah, this was not going to be an easy place to come down and play, Joe. You know, it's homecoming, a big crowd. Highlands playing for their playoff life here. They're not intimidated at all by these Riverhawks, and they took it to Armstrong in the first half. But Armstrong was able to get some points. You know, now they're going to get the ball to start the second half. They're going to make some corrections. You know, hopefully they're going to figure things out. I mean, I still feel like Armstrong can win this football game, Joe.
And you mentioned it, Doug, we have entered halftime, and that means it is the Olson Chiropractic halftime show. So we will send it over to the bands. Enjoy. We will see you for third quarter action.
Tonight, for your listening and viewing pleasure, the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band will be performing for you this year's halftime show, the 88 as we feature popular piano artists with Billy Joel's Piano Man and Just the Way You Are, Beethoven's For Our Elise, and Elton John's Your Song. Under the leadership of drum major Emma Lindahl, guard captains Deanne Posnack and Ashley Rimmel, and drumline co-captains Angel DeFangio and Matthew McClafferty. Now, ladies, relax and enjoy the popular piano music this evening as the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band appears to be ready for their halftime performance. Drum major Emma Lindahl, is your band ready?
But if we don't have that on, you're just going to hear that guy the whole way through. That's
Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band, the field is yours for performance.
When they walked by. When they came out, Frank. No.
That was pretty cool. It's in those papers. It's like you know what I'm talking about last week. 3rd and 2, and Ben decides to throw that ball on. She's like, throws a little 4-yard swing there, lives to play another down. Move the sticks.
That was Highlands. Highlands out-coached him, outplayed him on the line, made plays, except for Isaiah Brown. You were back and win this game, Isaiah Brown. That's all we'll say. I know. And he makes that long Linswan catch, and then he has that marble catch, then they just set him up. It's the only player we have.
I wouldn't say that was that great of a play call. You and I both saw it.
Now that the band is tuned up and review our show this evening as the Riverhawks Marching Band performs one of Wesley Van Beethoven's most famous compositions with For Our Elise. Up next, we feature our guard and recognize one of the most famous piano artists of all time, Sir Elton John, with a song from his second album that came out in 1970 with Your Song. close our halftime show this evening, go back to recognizing another legendary piano artist, Billy Joel, by performing his single from his 1977 album, The Stranger, with Just the Way You Are.
What's up, Ryan? How are you? How are you? Good to see you. Watch, he's on official guard duty
The 2021 Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band. The Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band is under the direction of Mr. Jason Vanetsky. This year's marching band staff consists of Assistant Director Mrs. Melissa Vanetsky, Guard Instructors Mrs. Sarah Smith and Mrs. Courtney Eiler, Drumline Instructor Mr. Rob Weems, Marching Instructor Mr. Jason Krakota, Woodwind Instructor Mrs. Charlene Krakota, Brass Instructor Mr. Pat Kavanaugh, and Marching Instructor, the voice of the Riverhawks Marching Band, Mr. Jake Canish. This year's halftime drill was designed by Mr. Robert Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, the Armstrong Riverhawks Marching Band would like to thank you for your kind attentiveness this evening. Go Hawks!
Let's have another round of applause for the Armstrong High School Marching Band. Calling our Rams fans, here they are, the pride of Highlands. Stomp your feet and make some noise. Under the field leadership of drum majors Rebecca Young and Ella Whitman, with field team captain Maria Fabregas, and color guard captain Allie Mann, we are proud to present the 2021-22 edition of the Highlands Varsity Marching Band.
We want to welcome you to the 2021 Highlands Homecoming, hosted by the Teachers of the Highlands Education Association. We are excited to welcome you back to homecoming festivities at Golden Ram Stadium. Our court begins tonight with Madison Kane, escorted by Ethan Hewitt. Madison is the daughter of Sean and Lynn Kane. She participates in musical productions at Highlands and feels lucky to have made great friends freshman year that are still her close friends today. She plans to enroll in the CCAC dual enrollment program this spring and apply for the Disney College program in the fall. Ethan is the son of Sean and Teresa Hewitt. He is a member of the golf and baseball teams and loves being the student section leader on Friday nights. Ethan plans to attend Penn College for construction management and engineering. Congratulate Madison Kane and Ethan Hewitt. Next we have Cammie Carnahan, escorted by Tanner Knoll. Cammie is the daughter of Doug and Eliza Carnahan. She enjoys participating in DECA events, especially the trips to the competition in Hershey. After graduation, Cammie plans to attend nursing school at St. Margaret's. Tanner is the son of Jamie and Doug Knoll. He is on the baseball team and loves playing baseball with his teammates and best friends. After high school, he plans to attend Seton Hill University to play baseball and study education and sports management. Congratulations to Cammie Carnahan and Tanner Knoll. Next we have Abigail Watts, escorted by Eddie Ripple. Abigail is the daughter of Jim and Diane Watts and the younger sister of Brian, Danielle, Rachel, and Jake Watts. She's a member of the swim team, the cross-country team, and the track team. After graduation, she plans to attend four-year college to major in a career path where she can help children and do her part to make our planet a little better. Eddie is the son of Eddie and Jane Ripple and the older brother of C.J. Ripple. He is a member of the Marching Band, National Honor Society, Global Scholars Program, and International Club. After high school, Eddie plans to attend a four-year university to pursue a career in biology. Congratulations to Abigail Watts and Eddie Ripple. Next we have Giona Elias, escorted by Daniel Timmons. Gianna is the daughter of Michael and Patricia Crane and Christopher Elias. She is a member of the drill team and loves Friday night football games and all the memories she has made. After high school, Gianna plans to attend a four-year university for nursing with a specialization in neonatal care. Daniel is the son of Jeff and Laura Timmons. He is a member of the football team and has served as the class president for 2 years. His favorite high school memories are from the DECA state conferences. After high school, Dan plans to attend a four-year university and go on to become a chiropractor. Congratulations to Gianna and Daniel. And finally this evening, Kiara Maioli, escorted by Khalil Long. Kiara is a foreign exchange student and the daughter of host mom Andrea Adolph. She is a member of the varsity volleyball team. Her favorite HHS experiences so far have been her first Friday night football game and her volleyball senior night. After high school, Kiara wants to continue to study languages and travel the world. Khalil is the son of Patrice Long and the brother of Kyron, Lonnie, Linnell, Amira, Melissa, and Faye. He is a member of the football, basketball, and track teams. After high school, Khalil hopes to play college basketball and get an opportunity to travel overseas. Congratulations to Kiara and Maioli and Khalil Long.
Now the boys, yeah. It's still good.
And let's have a nice round of applause and congratulations to the 2021 homecoming court. And tonight we welcome back our queen from 2020 Highlands graduate, Carol Lehue. She will crown our 2021 royalty. And your 2021 homecoming king is Khalil Long. And your 2021 homecoming queen.
Versus, I forget who they played. Of course, lost.
Let's wait a few seconds.
Advertising buffalo chicken.
Your homecoming queen is Kiara Maioli. Congratulations to Khalil and Kiara as the 2021 king and queen.
I covered Borough 3 times. I covered Highlands 3 times. It was like, hey, who? Her name looks nothing like it sounds.
Next, we would like to celebrate the homecoming court with a classic power ballad from our 2019 Teenage Rock Show, with a trombone solo by Michael Imler and a trumpet solo by Ian Love. Here is Open Arms.
14-13 Kids beat the half. 26-0 Corner Rock. That's good situation. Freeport up 21-9 over Burlington. Well, if they could punch right.
What's that?
They punch right. It's like the 15 coming out of this season. Who's that? If it ended today, who's that?
Better than Mars and Highlands come. Look at Highlands. You know who's not going to make it in that group of teams? Indiana. Indiana's one. I think Columbia and Highlands will beat Highlands. Yeah, Highlands.
It's funny, we thought our game was moving fast. All these went to halftime at the same time. So all these games are sometimes we expect some different. And there's only
Thank you and congratulations to all of the members of the homecoming court. Please stick around for the band's post-game show, including our rendition of Amazing Grace, followed by our halftime show featuring the music of Led Zeppelin. Thank you for your kind attention, and please enjoy the rest of the game.
We have a few halftime scores. Plum 13, Knox 0. Mars 6, Greenport Salem 6. For first half stats, first down, Armstrong had 4, Highlands had 13. Rushing yards, Armstrong with 30, Highlands with 112. Passing yards, Armstrong 62, Highlands 152. Total yards, Armstrong 92, Highlands 264. Third down conversions, Armstrong 2 for 6, Highlands 5 for 6. Penalties, Armstrong 2 for 10 yards, Highlands 3 for 25. Turnovers, Armstrong 1, Highlands 0. In time of possession, Armstrong 9 minutes 53 seconds, and Highlands 14 minutes and 7 seconds.
Oh, that's pretty good. All that
Doesn't seem like it.
all that stuff's worse.
Couple more halftime scores. 15 leading Scaler, 14-13. And Freeport leading Bowl, 21-9.
Did you hear all those?
Me trying to just, instead of asking him, I just
Give a picture. Perfect. Heck of a rundown of stats. Look at third down conversion.
You'll take out your 50-50 tickets on the yellow ticket.
5%.
Make that orange ticket.
That pick, no, that deep in
Number on the orange ticket, 406-536. 406-536. Winner receives $690. You come up to the press box to collect your winnings. Again, 406-536. And the winner receives $690.
Just barely. You know what I mean? Just a notch above.
Yeah. And a special birthday wishes to Chad Callan.
That was the game where they just wore us down. They just ran the whole game.
That's when I was in the parking lot, I heard something.
we're getting excited for the Monster Walk. We want to tell you a few things for the Monster Walk. We want to let you know that the parking lots will be closed that night. And when you come for the Monster Walk, come into the natatorium doors first. We'll show you where to line up, and then you're going to go through these doors and walk through the Nightmare Before Christmas natatorium.
So in the ladies' locker room, we're going to enjoy Harry Potter and the gang. Obviously, we're not going to go in today. But once you leave the locker room, we're going to head on over to the gym, where there is going to be a creepy carnival.
So after the creepy carnival, you're gonna come into our studio. You'll have an opportunity to take a family picture with your young ones in their costumes. You'll also, this is where we will take the pictures for our costume contest. Yes, that's right, I said it. Costume contest, just like last year. Guess what? We're gonna put them on Facebook, and the one with the most likes wins. So, if your child gets a little chip that says, take my picture, hand it to me. I'll be taking pictures, we'll put them on Facebook, and you're in the contest. Now let's go outside. I got some friends for you to meet, and other community partners outside. Let's go. What's up, guys? So, we're outside. I told you I have friends, and it's gonna be a huge event. Without further ado, here is Joe Rhodes from High Top Sports. Hey guys, so excited about the 29th. We're gonna have the Jumbotron right over my shoulder here. Armstrong Riverhawks taking on the Indiana Little Indians. It's at Indiana. A little bit of a drive, so why not cut that part of it out? Come here, enjoy all the things that are going on, and watch your Riverhawks right on the big screen. Bring a chair, bring a blanket, just be ready for the game. Chuck from Contending Cares, what else we got going?
Well, you come down to Rich D. Snyder for our second annual trunk or treat. We're gonna have so many trunks there. TGIF's gonna have one. Sprinkle's gonna have a meat truck or meat van there. Handing out coupons, handing out candies. Plus, we're gonna have many more trunks for you. Plus, 100 Real Glide pumpkins, paint kits to go along with that for the first 100 kids, and 1,500 bags of candy loaded up for the first kids that come through.
It's gonna be a great night. I'll tell you what do you think? What do you think, Colby?
I'm loving it. Love to be a partner. Proud to have a trunk. Can't wait to see what happens.
Gonna be trunks everywhere. Gonna be candy everywhere. Gonna be monsters everywhere. Gonna be a football game. You can't beat this. October 29th. Make sure you're at Richard G. Snyder YMCA in Katanning. It's gonna be the place to be. Everybody's gonna be happy.
Armscare, located at 85 Glade Drive in Katanning, provides the highest quality medical equipment, supplies, and service for use in your home. After an accident, illness, or surgery, the caring professionals at Armscare can assist you in getting the appropriate medical equipment into your home where you can make the most progress on your recovery. Armscare offers 24/7 emergency service as well as a wide variety of specialized medical equipment, and their experienced staff is committed to helping you or your loved one regain normalcy by providing the highest level of quality home care equipment, supplies, and service. Contact Armscare at 724-545-3200 today.
I apologize there. Minor sound glitch. You saw there Isaiah Brown able to come back for the football. Good throw by Olsen, able to kind of throw it to a spot, not necessarily to the man there. And Brown able to corral it, and Armstrong back up to the line quickly, but not before a whistle blows, and I think there'll be a timeout by Highlands, the Golden Rams. So we're going to stick through here and kind of recap what you didn't hear there for the first couple of plays. I apologize again for that. Highlands able to punch it in on their first drive of the second half, another methodical drive, capped off by a run by Timmons. Armstrong, their first drive, it got deep, but you know, it doesn't matter how deep you drive into your opponent's territory. You got to capitalize and score. This is Armstrong's second drive of the third quarter. A couple nice plays here. The ball spotted at the 40-yard line as Highlands calls a timeout.
Yeah, you know, Armstrong running out of possessions here. They need to make each one count. Really need to get some points on the board here, cut this lead.
And, you know, the one thing that could benefit Armstrong here, Doug, I apologize. You will have your sound back here shortly, folks. It's running a little bit of a delay. We're getting messages from you folks, so just hang in there. We'll get it figured out for you. But, you know, Armstrong really, I mean, we keep saying it time and time again in this game. This is the drive you need to score. This is the drive you need to score. And, Doug, I really believe this is the drive you need to score. Being held scoreless so far in this third quarter. And, again, Armstrong with 3 straight games of 30 points or more, to be exact. Quick pass. Another quick pass. Yep, good call there. Out to, I think that's Connor. Is that Connor Jacobs?
Connor Segola.
Or Connor Segola. I apologize. Same first name, different last. Good sportsmanship there. Looked like he might have been stopped right around the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him maybe a couple yards on it.
Well, at least it was a positive play on first down. So about 2nd and 6 here, Joe.
Can you imagine on this drive, Doug, you have to think Armstrong's going to target Isaiah Brown on a big play here eventually.
Yep.
He's in a bunch formation at the top of your screen. Noah Shuttleworth at the bottom by himself. He's going to look up at the top. He's going to look Brown's way. Actually, that's out to number 3, John Yancey. John Yancey throws a stiff arm. He tries to drag 2 tacklers with him. He's out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Nice play there by John Yancey.
Very nice pass by Caden. Looks like Caden and John are on the same page. That's his second catch of the night. And keep the chains rolling. Let's go. Tempo, Riverhawks. Come on.
And, we were talking about this tempo that Armstrong has, and the one thing that can benefit them and help them kind of preserve clock is the fact that they have to stop the clock to spot the ball on first down. So with how quickly Armstrong is getting back to the line of scrimmage, that'll help them kind of preserve time if they continue to have this up-tempo offense they've displayed here in this third quarter. Olsen takes the snap. He's going to look to his left. There's 3 receivers in the area. He finds one of them, brought in at the 10-yard line, and forward progress will keep him there. That was number 2.
Connor Segola.
Yep, Connor Segola. So Olsen kind of heating up here in the second half, here in the second possession that the Riverhawks have had. And Doug, the one thing I'm noticing so far, he's throwing the spots. He's not throwing the receivers. He's catching these guys before they make their break, and that's allowing them to get that space. And when you have a quarterback of that caliber, that's what he can do. Throw to a space, not a man.
Nice 9 yards on first down. Highlands is playing off right now, so they're keeping things in front of them. It's almost like a little mini prevent there. And Caden's just taking what they're giving him.
Patton up the middle. Hand off to Alex Patton. And you got to like that call, Doug. Just kind of get that first down and get your first and goal at the 9-yard line. I think that's where they're going to mark it, it looks like.
Clock stops, move the chains.
And again, that might benefit the Riverhawks because they have had an up-tempo offense and done a good job of getting back to the line of scrimmage quickly and calling a play. And
Armstrong has any hope here, Joe. They got to get the ball in the end zone.
Olsen looking to his right, throws a slant pass, caught by Brown. He's going to try to drag a tackler in. And
you got to be kidding me. Short.
Brought it out. Boy, oh boy, and the Armstrong coaching staff agrees with you, Doug. You hear some scatter in there. Boy, oh boy, it looks like he reached out for it. That'll let the clock continue to roll. 2:36 left, third quarter. A great throw, great catch. You like that quick slant.
I watched Isaiah extend that there, Joe. He was in the end zone. That's a bad spot.
Reminiscent of Antonio Brown reaching across against the Ravens to send the Steelers to the playoffs years ago. Now Mr. Big Chest down in Tampa, still doing it. You know that because you're playing against him in fantasy this week.
There we go. Up the middle, Caden. Caden the push.
The keeper.
Yes, he did. He's in, Joe.
And that's a big touchdown there by Caden Olsen in the Armstrong offense. That'll cut into the Highlands lead. It's now 34-13. The extra point will cut it down to 20. And 20 is still a manageable score. And what I want to point out about that too, Doug, that missed extra point.
They're going for 2 here, Joe, I think. We talk about it all the time in the NFL, the play card. When do you go for 2? When do you not go for 2? Now they're bringing the kicker onto the field.
And, you can kind of pull that off since Olsen is your holder. Maybe just to try to confuse the defense ever so.
And let's see.
Number 23 on to kick the extra point up. And good. That's your UFP partner extra point. Hunter Reed. Yeah, Hunter Reed. So Hunter Reed able to make it a 20-point ball game. Armstrong able to score in their second possession of the third quarter. And they have now outscored Highlands, believe it or not, in this third quarter, 7-6. But Highlands using that clock. And that's how they've really won this quarter thus far.
We need Armstrong, Joe, to cause a turnover. That's what they need. There hasn't been any turnovers by Highlands in this game. And if Armstrong is going to get back into this game, the defense needs to start making some plays.
And that's a great point, Doug, because you saw Highlands. The only turnover in this game was that ball through the hands of the Armstrong receiver, in which then it was picked off by Highlands. And that was deep in Armstrong territory. I want to say definitely within the 20, if I'm not mistaken, and they punched that right in. So not only do you have to make that turnover, make that big splash play, as Mike Tomlin likes to call it, but you have to capitalize on it too, Doug.
Yeah, it would be nice to see some splash plays here by the Riverhawks.
So Armstrong kicking off here. It'll be Stockdale. Interesting formation here by Highlands on the receiving end.
Highlands expecting an onside kick here, Joe.
Yeah, only one man deep, and the rest of the guys between the 45 and 50-yard line.
I would find an open area and have those Riverhawks run down, try to pounce on it.
One of those corners, Doug, because you know Stockville has the leg to really even put it over the receiver's head.
Maybe put it around 30 here. Nope, he's just going to kick it high to him, Joe.
I don't know if that was his intended move, but the result nonetheless. And
all right.
I think that was number 4, if I'm not mistaken, Aaron Randolph for Highlands. It was indeed. Dragging tacklers out to the 25, and that's where Highlands will take over.
Need a 3 and out. Let's get a 3 and out. Let's get the ball, get some momentum going here. There's still time. I know it sounds like a broken record, but we're still only in the third quarter. It's high school football, Joe. Things can happen.
Yeah, a great point there, Doug. You know, and as I said, with those, when you get that first down and up-tempo offense, Armstrong's not going to waste time offensively. It's just you got to limit what Highlands does offensively, because every time they move those sticks, just taking off big chunks of time. Only 1:59 left here in the third quarter.
There's
hand off to Bambalski. Bambalski. All right. Gets out to about the 29, maybe 30-yard line. 6 yards short of a first down. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6. Zagola with the tackle for the Riverhawks. And I was wondering, Doug, you bring up a 3 and out. Has Highlands had a 3 and out all night? I don't
think so.
Not that I recall.
No.
Not too many short drives in general.
Be keying on Bombalski here, also on Timmons. I would expect run.
Timmons doing it both in the air and on the ground. One of the better stiff arms I've seen from a quarterback all year long. I mentioned he's 6'4", 210, and able to use that size to his advantage here tonight. He's going to hand it off to Bombalski again. Right side makes a tackler miss, but pile of Riverhawks defenders able to meet him at the 31-yard line, and that's where he's dropped. And the Rams will face a third down with 1 minute and 4 seconds left in quarter number 3.
That was a nice defensive play by the Riverhawks, because they've been gashing the Riverhawks on that little run to the right there. And that time, there wasn't a lot of room. So third down, this is Armstrong's chance to get off the field. 3rd and 5. Let's make a play, defense.
And, Doug, you know, this could be one of those plays that we talked about a couple plays in the first half. If you can hold them here, again, just be really curious to see how that changes the complexion of this game. Timmons is going to keep it himself. He's going to get outside. A hold there. Look like number 2 is being grabbed. He's looking around. So you see him looking for a flag. Not the case. So really, I think Highlands caught a big break there, Doug. You never want to, because you could call holding on every play, but that one was pretty blatant. Number 2 for the Riverhawks, that was of course Zagola, got turned around on it. So
we haven't seen there has not been a holding flag in the entire game, Joe. So I don't know why they would start now.
I don't know how you go through an entire game without one holding call, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, you like that, letting them kind of play themselves and not getting too involved in the game. But boy, oh boy, that was a huge play and a fumble.
Miscommunication between the center and the quarterback there, just snapping the ball, and the quarterback wasn't looking, but Timmons able to fall on it. He's not going to run another play. They're going to go to the 4th quarter, Joe.
So, yeah, 13 seconds on the clock. They're going to let it tick down. And with 12 minutes remaining in this contest, Highlands still leading the way and having it their way. Kind of like Burger King, they lead 34-14, so we will take a quick break here on High Top Sports Network and return with 4th quarter action on this TGIF Solutions game night on High Top Sports Network.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
In Ford City, talk to State Farm agent Ryan Bowser today.
And welcome back to Highlands High School in Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania. Fourth quarter about to commence here. Highlands with the football now going from right to left. They lead by 20. Armstrong needing a stop desperately here. Second and long. Timmons going to throw downfield. Come back around and open again. Jack Balasek pushes the receiver out of bounds, but another nice comeback route for the Rams and another first down.
Really surprising there that Highlands would come out with a pass to start the fourth quarter, but caught the Riverhawks on that. He was wide open. Nice play.
And you know, all the headlines, as we mentioned in the first quarter coming in this game, as far as this quarterback comparison, was going to probably favor Caden Olson. A lot of headlines for that young man throughout his young career already, but Timmons certainly holding his own. Very few bad passes from him. I really count 2, but really just a great completion percentage and just a great eye for the downfield.
Isaiah Brown, Joe, good to that backfield, stopping down Bobowski, and that's what they need to do. They got to stack that line now. You got to get in the box. You got to dare Highlands to throw. You know, try to force them into a pass. Still need to make some splash here, Joe.
Yeah,
as Mike Tallman would say.
Absolutely. And we're going to have to use that a little bit more in this broadcast. But you notice here, Armstrong's been behind the sticks a lot of times. Here's an opportunity with your opponent behind the sticks. You got to capitalize on it.
Yep.
You got a 2nd down and 12. Maybe hold them to at least, hopefully, an incompletion here or a short run. You have that 3rd and long. You know, you look for those.
Quarterback keeper, nothing fancy.
Another stiff arm. Down again. Timmons. Doug, have you seen a better stiff arm all season long by a quarterback?
It looked like he was going nowhere, Joe. There were 3 Riverhawks right there, and he somehow gets out of it again. I think the size is just bothering Armstrong. They can't get him to the ground.
And it looks like Highlands is going to go for the death blow here. Kind of the nail in the coffin. At 4th down.
That's 3rd, Joe.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, 3rd down. So big 3rd down here. Pretty manageable for this Armstrong defense. You've got to be thinking pass here probably. It's just a bit longer. But again, maybe Highlands is confident enough to maybe run it 3 yards, have a 4th and 1, and just try to punch it again.
I think oh, they're going to throw.
Little fade outside, wide open again. So much space for these Highlands receivers. That's really starting to become a big takeaway here. Just big cushions and another catch. And another 1st down for the Golden Rams.
You know, 3rd and 5 there. Armstrong playing off coverage. So Highlands is going to run past the 1st down and catch the ball.
1st down.
And they're in no hurry now, Joe. 10 minutes left.
You know, we mentioned in the first half that Highlands used that time of possession to their favor, and clearly that's the case here again. And the 4th, certainly the 3rd quarter now in the 4th. There's a pitch outside. A lot of room there for Bobowski. Does a nice spin and gets himself an extra 3 yards as a result.
There he goes, falling forward, Joe. Nice 5-yard gain on 1st down.
And you mentioned it a moment ago, Doug, you get those chunk yards on 1st down, 4 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. And that's been kind of what you've seen from Highlands. You really set yourself up well on 2nd and 3rd down. Something the Riverhawks have certainly not done. You've seen a lot of 2nd and longs, 3rd and longs, and Highlands always kind of keeping things sort of manageable.
Yeah, 2nd and manageable. That's the word, manageable. Now they can run or pass.
Timmons has 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Lone man at the top. Taking his time. Running back flank to his right. He's going to give it to Bumbalski. Bumbalski hit and brought down around the 36-yard line.
Number 6.
So another big 3rd down upcoming for the Armstrong defense. Time just ticking away. Highlands wants nothing more as we come down to the 9-minute mark here in quarter number 4.
3rd and short for Highlands.
And you have to believe here too, Doug, this is 4 down for Highlands.
Yeah, they could run the ball twice here. They could look for a pass and then do a run. Really, the whole playbook's open here. They could catch Armstrong for the death blow.
Instead of saying flanked to the quarterback's side, Bumbalski behind him, and they figured he was going to get the handoff to that formation. He cuts it back, and he's going to get another 1st down. You kind of saw that coming. You see him flanked either to the right or left of the quarterback. Instead, he was about a step behind him to his left, and it seemed like that was going to be sort of like a draw formation. And sure enough, Bumbalski able to rip off about a 6-yard carry there.
Yeah, they tipped their formation there, Joe. We knew it was going to go to Bumbalski up the middle, and Highlands just has all the answers tonight. It is their night, Joe.
There's just certain formations that a couple times tonight, as you mentioned, for Highlands when we saw Timmons under center, we knew it was either going to be a quarterback dive or a kneel, usually in the shotgun, as you see him here right now. And that play right there, the running back kind of behind him to his left, another formation like that. This time it's going to be a pitch outside to number 22. That's Brock White. Brock White able to take it up to the 16-yard line, where John Yancey pushes him out of bounds. The good thing there is it stops the clock for the Riverhawks at 7:54. But still, time really not on their side here. Doug, you mentioned just not a lot of snaps left for the Riverhawks in this one, especially if they're going to let the Gordon Rams hold on to the ball this long.
Yeah, Armstrong down 20. They gotta find a way to make the stop. It's imperative. No more points for Highlands.
Timmons and his offense looking to kind of put that final blow. Nice cut again by that young man, but brought down, we'll say, at about the 16-yard line. Going to be, well, they're going to say the 11-yard line, I apologize, a yard short of the first down. Once you know it, Doug, another third down and manageable for the Highlands Golden Rams.
Yeah, that's what they've had all night tonight, Joe, and they have succeeded every time. You saw the third down conversions. You read the stat at the half. They were 5 for 6, and the same thing is happening in the second half. You can't get off the field.
And, everybody benefits from those third and shorts. The coaches, they benefit, and it probably opens up their playbook more, maybe simplifies it a little bit more, Doug. It maybe takes a little bit of pressure off your young quarterback. But Highlands really not nervous on these third down situations whatsoever. Throw outside low, and Timmons really his first bad throw on a slant. That was low in behind the intended receiver. But referees are going to blow a whistle here and an official timeout, it looks like. That is what it is indeed. I'm going to say the intended receiver there, Doug. Was that number 20? I'm going to say number 20 maybe. Yeah. Landon Signorella. And as a public address announcer announced there, a 4th down and 2. Highlands is going to go for it here. Certainly 4-down territory. You got to think that if the drive is extended after this play, this one might just be over.
Yeah, I think this would be the final nail in the coffin if Highlands can pick up this first down.
4th down, a long
4th and 2.
12-yard line.
This is the play of the game for the Riverhawks. They got to make the stop here. They got to get the ball back.
Rowan Miller up there in the middle for the Riverhawks, along with Julius Barnes. A huge play here for the Riverhawks. Timmons moving running back to his left. He's either going to keep it. No, he's going to throw it here. What? He's going to try to get out of there. He's got the time. Throws it across his ball. Wide open. No. Nice job closing in on it. I can't see the number there, but what closing speed there, Doug.
Armstrong will take over.
Wow.
I think that was Dozik's a block. Or was that? Yeah, it was Dozik. Maybe Highlands outthinking themselves there, Joe. You've been running the ball up the middle all night. It was, 4th and 2? And you try a trick play, and he was open, but the ball just didn't get there in time, and Armstrong was able to turn it away.
Doug, you make an excellent point there. Timmons is rolling out to his right. We've seen how effective he is in open space like that, using that stiff arm. I think he has a better chance of converting that, continuing to run outside instead of throwing completely across his body, probably, 20, 25 yards in the air.
And he had room to run, Joe. He could have easily got that first down.
So a big break for the Riverhawks. Caden Olsen back out there, 4 receivers to his disposal. He's going to fake the throw to the running back. He's going to throw outside, but just outside of the reach of number 3, John Yancey. Bring up 2nd and 10.
Highlands is going to be content now to give those Riverhawks those 5-yard out plays. Armstrong needs to get something downfield and maybe run that slant, a post, a hitch and go, something. But they need a big play, Joe.
You're reading my mind there, Doug. I was thinking the same exact thing here. You only have 6:59 left on the clock. You need 3 scores here.
Yep.
And I don't see how you get those without a big play. There's a snap, thrown, slant, brought in. I think that is Isaiah Brown. Not much doing. They're going to say maybe about 3 yards there. Wrapped up quickly by the Highlands defense. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7. Clock continues to roll. 6:44 left in quarter number 4.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 here for the Riverhawks. Run something past the sticks. You need to get. They're going to play off. They're playing soft coverage.
We talked about Chandler Timmons on the offensive side for Highlands. Look, he's right in that middle linebacker position, almost the quarterback of the defense as well. Olsen pressured. If the on his ankles, he's going to try to continue to run this. Lean forward. Looks like they're going to mark him just a bit short. Armstrong not getting the benefit tonight on spots, and another case of that right there. I'm going to say a 4th and 1. And Doug, what do you do here? You're at the 21-yard line, your own 21.
It's me. I get the first down. I just sneak it up the middle and get the first down, move the chains.
We've talked about the size of Timmons. He knows not a small guy himself here, but I don't know if you're going to run that play with him out of the gun like that, especially with the penetration Highlands defense has gotten all game long. We'll see here. 2 receivers to both sides. Alex Patton flanked to Olsen's right. The snap. Patton gets it. Does a little stutter step. Drags the defender. And no bigger run on the night for Alex Patton than that one. He stopped behind the first down marker, but kind of drug the defender with him and able to extend this drive. But again, the clock rolling. 6:07 left here. Again, we talked about that big play, Doug. Is this the time for it? You take that shot maybe at Isaiah Brown.
It's time to take a shot down the field. Go to Isaiah.
He's got one-on-one coverage. Might have that safety. Nope, the safety's not going to have him. He had. Looked like Olsen was looking for his first read. That was John Yancey. If you looked at the top of the screen where Isaiah Brown was, looked like he had his defender beat easily. And rarely does Olsen underthrow a ball, so it looks like a missed opportunity there. It might have been designed to throw Yancey's way, but whatever the case.
Just a miscommunication there, Joe, is all that was.
A snap here. Olsen's going to go downfield finally. A 50-50 ball. Corner Segol off his fingertips. Might have gotten away with a push off there as well, but whatever the case.
3rd and 10.
Jesus. Sorry about that. We got sprayed. Somebody throwing a bottle of pop up over our bleachers. Got thousands of dollars worth of equipment here. I'd like to meet that person, Doug.
When you're outside on the porch, Joe, things happen.
Everybody knows I'm a friendly guy, but I take offense to that one. Olsen takes the snap. He's going to throw across the middle. Great throw with the fingertip at the 42-yard line. What a big catch by John Yancey.
Great catch by Yancey there, coming across the middle. He was able to hold on to that, Joe. He moved the chains. Boy, this clock moves quick down here. I don't know.
5:30, as you mentioned there, Doug. Olsen with the snap, fakes the handoff. Going to look down the middle of the field again. What a small window that was, Doug. Boy, oh boy. And who else but John Yancey with the catch?
John Yancey stepping up here for the Riverhawks just when they need it the most.
We talk about a window. It seemed like a dog door there.
It's the same play twice in a row, Joe.
Olsen going to look to the left, throws over to Isaiah Brown. Get him an open space. Makes a guy miss. Trying to drag a second down. Isaiah down the sideline, that's a 5 and in the end zone for a touchdown. Don't look now, but the Riverhawks cut into this lead. It is now 34-20, down 14 with 5:06 left here. You got to kick the extra point, right, Doug?
Yeah,
13 points.
What I like there, Joe, was they went twice to John Yancey over the middle. Third time, they ran the exact same play, but this time he hit Isaiah Brown, and Isaiah Brown spun off that tackler and into the end zone. And that's your big playmaker, and he's going to make the plays.
And, you know, obviously, Isaiah Brown, you got to love the run after catch there, breaking certainly 2 tackles. There might have been 3 there, Doug. 3 guys within the vicinity. Doug Flanders looking behind us, trying to mad mug the guy who threw a pop-up here. We're getting near Halloween, Joe. Things happen. They're lucky that they are about 30 feet below us, and there's a fence between us, Doug. Anyways, I digress. But you know what? What I was pointing out there, Isaiah Brown, you got to give him credit, breaking 3 tackles there. But John Yancey emerging there in that drive, 2 huge catches, a fingertip one, and then bringing that ball in that nearly impossible window right around the 40-yard line a moment ago. Give credit to John Yancey, a big reason why Armstrong was able to put 6 on the board there, possibly 7, if this extra point goes through the uprights.
First time all night where we see Armstrong getting first down after first down after first down on consecutive plays. First time. It took us till 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So now the Riverhawks are within 2 possessions. Again, that missed extra point, Joe. They can make this. They're only down 13.
And I got to ask you. You mentioned about that the frequency of which Armstrong's gotten those first downs. What do you attribute that to? Is it maybe a change in play call?
Oh no!
A blocked field goal, or extra point, excuse me.
Number 24.
And boy, oh boy, Doug, the commentator's curse on that one, maybe. Whatever the case, we talked about cutting that lead down to 13, and you could possibly end up winning this game with 2 scores and an extra point, but great penetration there on the blocked extra point for Highlands.
In the first half, Joe, I had a feeling that extra points could loom large. And now we're down 14. We still have 5 minutes left. I think if you're Armstrong, you try to do some type of onside kick, some type of pooch. Put it in open space. We still need a turnover, Joe. It hasn't happened.
And the one good news for Armstrong here, Doug, is the fact they have 3 timeouts remaining. They have their full complement of timeouts. So that's going to be useful here with just 5:06 left in this game. You know, Doug, you've been stealing my words all night, and you said, what changed? It's 5:06. You're getting those first downs with such fluidity. Where was that all game long? And again, I asked you, like, they made it look kind of easy. It looked like the Caden Olsen we've seen all year, just quick throws on the point, on the dot, good route running, coming up with tough catches. And
little chemistry there with Sean Yancey. Give him some credit there, Joe. He brought a new dimension to this game. All right, let's get something off special teams now.
So again, Highlands is going to be careful here and put pretty much their entire complement, except for one player, between the 50 and the 45-yard line. Really, this is a big play even for Stockdale. We saw that last kickoff where Highlands had this same sort of, I guess, setup or lineup, or whatever you want to call it there. And just kind of a pop-up kick.
Highlands with all their guys up except for one, Joe.
Sprinkling here a little bit, Doug, making me nervous. Stockdale, there it is. There, 2, the ball's loose. Looks like Highlands did come up with it, but a good job there by Stockdale. His hand is on his helmet, hoping one of his teammates came up with it, but it is a Highlands football at the 43-yard line. So here you go, Armstrong. Your defense, it's really in their hands now. 5:04 left. 3 timeouts as mentioned, but can you really afford to give them a fresh set of downs here?
No, you can't. I'm hoping that this ends up being the game of the year, Joe. I really am. You're down 14 with 5 minutes left. Let's get off the field. You got your timeouts. Stack that line. Force Highlands to do something they don't want to do.
Armstrong's going to have to dig deep here. We've seen this Highlands offense kind of have its way throughout the night, but no bigger time for Armstrong to step up than right here. Babolski, all right, off left guard, brought down by number 52. That, of course, is the one and only Dylan Gagini, a staple on this Armstrong defense.
47-yard line.
Well, 2nd and 7, Joe. Probably both teams about happy with that play. Armstrong, stopped them pretty quickly, and Highlands picked up about 3 yards.
Well, yeah, they're going to say about 4 yards there, Doug, and that's kind of that little niche spot you talked about, 4 or 5 yards on first down. And every time they've been able to gain that, it seems like they've been able to move the stick. So Armstrong trying to buck that trend here. 4 down linemen for the Riverhawks. 2 men in the backfield with Timmons. 2 receivers to the top of your screen. Going to be a run play here, obviously. Until he rolls off of it. Give him credit. Met in the backfield, spun around. That was Gagini, who was the first man to meet him.
Timeout Armstrong, Joe. First of their 3. 3rd and 6.
So with that, we here on High Top Sports Network will take our final timeout of the night. For Ryan Burns, Doug Flanners, and Joe Rhodes here on High Top Sports Network. Stay tuned. We might have an action-packed final 4:16 left for you here on High Top Sports Network.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
And down the stretch they come. That was our post this week on High Top Sports Network, because there's only 3 weeks left, but boy, oh boy, that term never more evident here. 4:16 left. Armstrong kind of showing a little bit of life here, Doug, but time not on their side. A big 3rd down here. Timmons and company looking to convert one more time here. Maybe I'll put this one a nice. He's going to roll out option. What a nice play.
Nice
Runs it to
play.
the inside, man. Oh, he put it back in his pocket, Joe. The official had the flag out and put it back in his pocket. What was that? The gentleman who marked it. Wow.
24-yard line.
And Doug, see that? I did. And you know what, Doug? We talked about it. You don't want the referees playing too much of a role in this game, but no holding calls throughout this entire game.
Give Highlands credit on that play. That was a very nice play. You see the NFL guys do that all the time. They roll out like it's going to be the auction, and they flip it back inside.
But you know, sorry, Doug. No, what I was going to say, though, here's the problem there. It's a different look than you've seen all night. Rarely have they had two guys in the backfield with Timmons.
Yeah.
It seemed like Armstrong still not quite expecting that run.
Now they're going to run up the middle.
Yep.
There it is.
And met immediately by Julius Barnes and number 52, the aforementioned Allegheny, and a timeout by the Riverhawks. So we're going to stay here through this break.
That's a smart football by Highlands. You make Armstrong burn their timeout. 2nd and 10, you do it again. You know, make them exhaust them all.
Yeah, good call there, Doug. And that was the importance of still having those 3 timeouts. They didn't have to burn them on any plays early in the second half, as you saw Highlands had to. So a luxury there, but still time not on the Riverhawks side. And
be really nice for Armstrong to create a fumble. Strip that ball. You know they're going to run up the middle. Stack your line. Try to strip that ball out. Get a turnover.
Well, and to your credit, you keep pointing this up. 2nd down here. This is probably the longest remaining yards on the 2nd down that Highlands has had. Maybe all game. It's certainly in the second half. So Armstrong, there's a little glimmer of hope. It's that right there. But Timmons with 2 players in the backfield with him. You imagine another play, a man in motion. See if he gets the handoff. He does.
Wow.
Allows the running backs to get out in front of him. There's some open space. Number 11 gets the edge. Runs into Segola, and he's brought down at the 12-yard line. That might have just done it there, Doug.
Again, Joe, we have not seen that play all night. A little jet sweep. Great call. I'm very impressed with what I've seen here tonight by Highlands.
Again, you stole my words. What a great play call there. You got that guy in motion. You might have thought it was just sort of a decoy. Instead, they handed off to him, and the 2 men in the backfield doing an excellent job to get out there and lead block for him, and a big gain there. Highlands in the Ryan Bowser State Farm red zone, sitting at the 15-yard line. And Doug, just 2:56 left, and the clock continues to roll in that similar formation. Why change it? If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yep, timeout Highlands.
But Highlands Fs will take the timeout here, Doug. So a couple opportunities for Armstrong to end these drives, but the resiliency of the Golden Rams coming out victorious in those little matchups within the game. And as you said, and really, you know, I'm giving you an MVP this award, MVP award of this game. It's got to be the offensive coordinator for Highlands. You know, when they needed that, there's another one. And another glass flies in our direction. I'm about to let Doug call the rest of this game.
Outside the gate, over into the crowd. Interesting.
I was going to say the last time you were probably doused in pop was a few months back when your Riverhawks softball team clinched a spot in the state championship. Probably a little different feeling than that pop that just got drenched all over you there. Highlands, again, if it's not broken, don't fix it. This formation's worked well for him. A man in motion again. This time he will not receive it. Said it will.
Got the corner, Joe.
Bobowski, excuse me. Yeah, Bombowski. Butchered his name. Bombowski. There we go. And he's actually been an excellent little piece of this Highlands offense throughout the night. We mentioned how tough he is. He really runs with some steam built up in him. And really, the combination between he and Timmons on the ground kind of is what separated this. Because that's really what opened up, I think, the passing game for Timmons as well.
Yeah, 1st and goal now at the 4. This was just the statement drive here by Highlands, just to put the little exclamation point, the cherry on top, Joe. This is where, if you're Highlands, you're really going to make the score turn some heads if you punch this in.
Handoff. Bumbalski, close, but marked down at the 1 yard line. Armstrong with 1 timeout left.
And off to Luke Bumbalski.
And they used that final timeout. I like that decision there with 2:03 left and a second down coming up. You've seen Armstrong not really be able to stop Highlands on these short yardage plays. They're going to have 2 cracks at the end zone from 2 yards out, so a tall task for the Armstrong defense.
Yeah, Joe, if I told you one team could possibly get in the 40s tonight, I don't think you would have guessed it would have been the Golden Rams, but that's exactly what might happen here.
Doug, another great point. You look at what Armstrong's been able to produce offensively over their last 3 games. Of course, all wins. Scored 49, 37, 33, the lowest point total over that span. But being held in check tonight by Highlands, just 20 points. You say just 20 points. I'm trying to look at any of their games. The fewest they scored, they had a loss to, or no, excuse me, they had a win against Deer Lake, scored 49 there. Their losses, they scored 14 and 20 respectively. So here you go again. Seems like when you keep Armstrong to 20 or less, your odds are good at beating them.
Yeah. Well, Highlands going for the knockout. Let's see what happens here.
Waiting for this third pop to come flying over our head, Doug. I promise I will put down the mic. You can handle it for the rest of the way.
He's got it.
And Bumbalski throws into the end zone again. And a touchdown for the Golden Rams. And Doug, that about, I think, seals it, barring a miracle here in Natrona Heights.
Yeah, that's going to wrap it up, Joe. Again, just no resistance. He walks into the end zone standing up.
Really, you brought it up early on. There are a couple big guys. You saw going out for the coin toss. You pointed out some the homecoming king, that young man as well. Some big bodies up there, and they've really taken care of business here tonight for Highlands, because those same individuals that are on the offensive line have actually been guys on the defensive line as well, and have been just as effective on that side of the ball. The extra point up and good, and that makes it a 41-20 advantage in favor of Highlands. A shocking result here, to say the least. Armstrong coming in with just one section loss. That, of course, a 1-point defeat to section leader and undefeated Hampton. But Armstrong coming in here tonight to Natrona Heights, as mentioned, and getting stunned by these Golden Rams.
What a huge win for Highlands, Joe. You know, they're in the middle of the pack. They're fighting for their playoff life. To pick up a win like this, and then they're going to head to Greensburg next week. I mean, they're just, this is exactly what Highlands needed. And if you're Armstrong, this is going to drop them into that big pack now. Collection of teams in the middle of the section. That's going to let Hampton be 2 wins clear of the rest of the section, Joe. Actually, 3 over Armstrong, because they have the head-to-head win as well. So it's going to tighten everything up in the greater Allegheny.
Yeah, Armstrong will have to wait another week to clinch that elusive playoff berth. I did not qualify for the postseason a season ago. Seemed on track heading in tonight, but the Golden Rams with different plans. And you mentioned the standings. Of course, Hampton at the top, Armstrong in second. Greensburg Salem, who fell to the Riverhawks a week ago, sit at third. And then Indiana in fourth, Plum in fifth, and Highlands in sixth. Those are really the teams vying for those 5 playoff positions you mentioned, Doug. And, it's amazing to me to watch this Highlands team here tonight and imagine them losing 29-14 just a week ago to Indiana, and tonight taking care of the second best team
in the section.
Yeah, I mean, really hard to argue that.
Yeah, you know what? Highlands to me passes the eye test, Joe. They got some big bodies up front. They got some good running backs, some nice receivers. They make some nice play calls. They really have had all the answers. To me, they definitely look like one of the best 5 teams in the greater Allegheny, for sure.
Absolutely. And Doug, you mentioned something coming out of the halftime break. Armstrong needed to maybe have that big splash play. We mentioned that several times, quoting Mike Tomlin. And the one thing that really impressed me was Timmons in that offense, taking care of the ball, not taking too many risks. He was excellent throwing the football. They were careful holding on to the football. And that young man really just, a 2-yard pass there. with 1:45 left. But give credit to Timmons. As I said, I imagine he comes in this game, he hears all the talk about Caden Olson and the cannon of an arm he has and what he's been able to do over the last 2 years. Obviously, the reigning WPIAL passing leader. And Timmons kind of maybe taking a little offense to that, wanting to show the folks out there that he's one of the better quarterbacks in this greater Allegheny Conference.
Yeah, you know what? He's a junior also, and he had something to prove tonight, and he made his statement. And now Bobowski, he's been able to run up the middle. Armstrong just really had no answer for him. I don't know how many yards he had, Joe, but it was a lot. We have a 15-yard personal foul on Highlands, which is going to move the ball into Highlands territory. Riverhawks need to make something happen here, Joe.
First piece of yellow laundry in quite some time, Doug. You mentioned no holding penalties. I don't know if I've ever covered a game where I saw 0 holding penalties, at least on the high school level. Olsen's going to air this one out. He finds Brown outside past the 40. He reaches out and gets the first down, so that will stop the clock at 1:37. Once they place it, it will resume and begin to roll again. Olsen's done a good job tonight to get his guys back up to the line quickly. If he snapped that, he almost had a guy, too many men on the field. Rolling out, got on the run. Putting back inside is Segola.
Doesn't get the first.
And I think if he keeps his route outside there, Doug, I think he actually gets further downfield. And as you said, get out of bounds. You have a better chance of getting out of bounds, plus some extra yardage. So that'll kill a lot of clock. Low snap, Olsen brings it in. He's going to look over to the left. A high ball. Just a little late there to Isaiah Brown, number 24, able to break that one up. That's, of course, Hunter Wagner.
Again, Highlands contend, Joe, to let Armstrong catch the ball in front of them and keep them in bounds. Take some chances down the field.
And we talked about the cushions that the Armstrong defense has given Highlands wide receivers. You said they're content with doing it, but the level in which Armstrong has all night and the cushions they've had, you saw how quickly 24 was able to converge on Isaiah Brown there. Hunter Wagner. Their secondary still, they're letting them catch it, but they're bringing them down usually right where they're at, excluding maybe that touchdown run by Isaiah Brown. But that took sort of a Herculean effort, breaking 3 tackles. Other than that, really, they've done a good job of wrapping up Armstrong ball carriers. Olsen gets into the gun. 1:03 left. 29 seconds left on the play clock. He pump fakes. Pressure in his face. He's going to throw this one.
Got him.
And he hits who else but John Yancey, a surprise player of the game, right around the 15-yard line.
First down's going to stop the clock.
Burford getting his name called again. Got the tackle there after the Yancey reception. Clock continues to roll. 51 seconds left. Olsen, 4 receivers to his complement. Fakes the handoff. Screen set up. Now he's going to go deep to Segola, I think. Touchdown. What a pretty pass there by Caden Olsen. What a nice play by Segola with a couple of gaps here of late. Able to make up for it there with 6 points. So with 41 seconds left to score, 26-41. Too little, too late, though. But you mentioned it, Doug, in that last scoring drive. Armstrong able to get the ball downfield with this passing game. Where was that in the first half and really even in that third quarter?
Yeah, and again, Joe, John Yancey coming up with huge plays. It's about 4 catches for him downfield. Nice job. Him and Isaiah, nice little tandem there. Giving Armstrong another threat.
Yeah, that's a great call. Extra point. Good there, Doug. That's a great point. And, you can never have too many targets. And we've seen the chemistry between Isaiah Brown and Caden Olsen, along with Olsen's chemistry with Noah Shuttleworth. Obviously, Brown 13th in the WPIAL with 27 catches. 5th in the WPIAL with 512 receiving yards. And the note there I love to mention, he missed the first 2 games of the season. He's still sitting at number 5. And then Shuttleworth, he's 19th in the WPIAL with 25 catches. That equates to 383 yards, an average of 15.3. So it's nice to see Caden Olsen maybe beginning to build a relationship with someone other than Isaiah Brown and Noah Shuttleworth. Because he had that luxury last year, maybe a larger complement of weapons for Caden Olsen. But John Yancey looking like somebody who is ready to step up. Not too many of those pass plays to Yancey were easy either, Doug.
Timeout Highlands. Armstrong's going to do an onside kick here, Joe. So it's high school football. You never know. If Armstrong can convert on an onside kick here, Get the ball back. I've seen crazier things, Joe.
Yeah, it's this would be, you talked about an instant classic, a 14-point deficit in 41 seconds. As you said, wilder things have happened, but nothing quite like that this season that we've been able to witness, Doug. I know you've had the honor of covering some really good games this year, and you talked about some of the games you didn't attend, but you did watch on High Top Sports Network, so thank you for that. But certainly, just you can't help but wonder, this recent success for Armstrong offensively, was that a result of a change in Highlands defense, maybe a little more prevent? Right. You got to wonder that. Or did Armstrong finally find something, late in that fourth quarter that Dave was just sort of eluding them throughout this game? Whatever the case, it just came up too little too late. Yeah. And the underdogs pulling off a big upset here, unless, of course, something insane happens.
Yeah.
Like a pop bottle flying over our head.
Twice.
Looks like the security's on it now, though, which that young man is lucky for, because should be glad it's not me and Doug. And that one bounced, takes a nice extra bounce. Boy, oh boy. And I'm going to tell you what, give credit to Stockdale. Both of his onside kicks have been pretty good. Yeah. We see NFL kickers that really can't master the art of the onside kick, and he got a nice bounce there right past the 10-yard mark, and Armstrong just unable to come up with it. I think that was number 23, I do believe, for the Golden Rams. Nope, there's no
49-yard line with 38 seconds.
But somebody wearing number 20.
It's just been Highlands night, Joe. That's all you could say. The ball has not bounced Armstrong's way. They were not able to create any turnovers tonight. Give the Golden Rams credit. They, like I said, they passed the eye test for me. They are a playoff team.
I agree, Doug, and now they're in the victory formation. Timmons will take a knee.
That's going to do it.
36 seconds, yep, and that, I do believe that will wrap it up. Yep, 40 seconds on the play clock, and the teams will converge on the 50-yard line with the Golden Rams of Highlands coming away victorious by a score of 41-27.
Yeah, it's a shocker, Joe. Like I said, I can't give Highlands enough credit. They were ready to play. They got the job done. They were the better team tonight, Joe.
Yeah, and certainly it's so easy, and we're going to name our gross embroidery player of the game, Doug. You can always make the case, 2 huge catches by Isaiah Brown. That first one sort of seemed to stem the tide and ignite something. And then, of course, that one, the short little kind of pass out in the flat where he was able to, or kind of a screen pass where he was able to break 3 tackles and get the pay dirt. I'd love to give it to that young man. He seems to just do that every week. But I'm going to have to say this game, obviously it's hard to find an MVP on this Armstrong team, but got to give it to John Yancey.
I totally agree.
Because I think that's something that could bode well. It's not going to benefit Armstrong tonight, but it could be something that could help them next week against Plum.
Yeah, that's going to give Armstrong another threat. I really like how he stepped up there, gave Caden another target, give him another option. Take a little heat off of Isaiah, Give Caden a chance to spread that ball to some other guys. He really had a nice game. I remember a real nice fingertip catch he had over the middle in traffic. And that's nice when you have a receiver that's not afraid to go over the middle and haul in that ball. So John Yancey definitely deserving of the player of the game.
Yeah, and as I mentioned there too, Doug, you look at that team last year, you had Cole Brown. Isaiah Brown unfortunately missed most of that season with an injury. But you had, I think, a larger complement of weapons. I'm thinking about 4 guys on that team, and some are escaping me. Noah Shuttleworth was a part of that tandem. He's kind of lower on the totem pole at that point. But, I think what really helped Caden Olsen be the WPIAL passing leader as he was a year ago was having that complement. Teams can kind of key in on Isaiah Brown, maybe kind of shade over on Noah Shuttleworth. If John Yancey can emerge, as you said, that could bode well for the Riverhawks. Because here's the thing. They're going to be a playoff team, we assume here, Doug. So why not take your lumps right here, take what you can from this game, good and bad, and the good from it, use it over these 2 remaining weeks as you get ready for the playoffs, because, we know what this Armstrong team is capable of. We know what this offense is capable of. Certainly a low output today, just 27 points. I will mention that's the most points they've scored in a losing effort this season, but that's moral victories are not what the Riverhawks came to Highlands tonight for. So, again, the Yancey emergence, the player of the game, the gross embroidery player of the game. Obviously, you saw Isaiah Brown make some just freakish top WPIAL type receiving plays, and Caden Olson just throw some dimes. I think about that throw right in front of us here, somewhere around like the 35-yard line where he hit Yancey in that almost impossible window, and give him credit for catching that. Those are some difficult catches, too, when the window's that small. But, there are some bright spots. You don't want to get too down if you're the Riverhawks. You're still sitting in prime position to make the postseason. Really, again, you're a coach, Doug. You like to have your fate in your own hands, and the Riverhawks have that to their disposal.
Sometimes you can learn a lot more from a loss, Joe, than from a win. And, the Riverhawks did not bring their A game tonight, and this is a good teaching moment. There's plenty of time to get this corrected. They're at home next week against Plum. Plum's probably going to be pretty comparable to what they saw here with Highlands. Plum's another team fighting for the playoffs. They're going to be ready to play. I think Plum, I believe, has won last week. I'm not sure what they're doing tonight, but it's not going to be easy. You got to bring your best ball. If you don't bring your best, you can get upset, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to get these final scores for you, Doug. While I look this up, what do you think the play of the game was? I'm up. Plum 39, Knock 0. There you go, Doug. You were asking about that. Plum kind of bottom dwellers in this section, but
Plum's playing their best ball right now, Joe. I believe they won last week, and now a 39-0 win this week. So, that'll be Armstrong's last home game. They need to put on a good showing here and show that they're at the top of the Allegheny Conference.
Yeah, great point there, Doug. And our play of the game, I'm saying that past Isaiah Brown outside, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that separates good receivers from great receivers in the high school level. Your ability to catch that ball in open space and use your athleticism to your advantage, not just once, but 3 times. And Isaiah Brown able to do so as he scampered into the end zone from about 20 yards out, something of that distance. Certainly, the Riverhawks are going to have a long bus ride home up Route 28 to Katanning, Manor Township to be exact, at Armstrong Junior Senior High School. But I'm sure what the message is going to be at that very first practice this week, Doug, is just, what's the old Clint Hurl saying? A shower well.
Yeah, they're going to have to shower this one off for sure, Joe.
So that, I think, Doug, about wraps it up here. Want to thank you as always. I love doing these games with you. You're one of the best, if not the best, to do this side by side with. You always bring great banter, and the conversations never lack. So thank you. And Ryan Burns, thank you so much for your terrific work as always. You talk about everybody thinks anybody can run a camera. That's not true. I welcome anybody to come up here and try to do the work that Ryan does and some of our other great cameramen do here on High Top Sports Network. So great team here tonight. Glad to be a part of it. As mentioned, some other games maybe still in action on High Top Sports Network. So if you're bored with listening to me and Doug, you can flip over to that. The only final I've received is that Plum Knock final. And I think that one's just over because of the score. It looked like they had a running clock there. So that's why that one found its completion so early. So that means Kitzky's still in action against Shaler, along with Burl and Freeport, yes. But I do have Mason said Ben Lane, 6 rushes, 44 yards, 3 TDs, 2 pass completions for 36 yards. Makes you think that the Yellow Jackets won there, but don't want to confirm anything I'm not sure about. But again, I think that about wraps it up. Guys, thank you as always. And folks, thank you out there. You make this special for us. We love being able to spend our Fridays with you, covering what I consider to be the best sports in the world, high school athletics, Doug. Not to sound like the PIAA creed, I think that's what it is. But it's true. And another great night of football. I know the Riverhawks are not happy with the end in which they came out on, but 2 games left and their fate is in their hands.
Enjoyed it, Joe. Let's do it again sometime.
That wrapped it up for Ryan Burns, Doug Flanders, and myself, Joe Rhodes, here on High Top Sports Network. Stay tuned and make sure you log on hightopsportsnetwork.com. Click the More tab to see when your favorite team will appear on High Top Sports Network next. Until then, be safe and be merry.